Buddy, we're back with the Danger Room. This time we got the full freaking crew here. We got our Deaton's here. What's up?
Hello.
Sploosh is here.
Chewy and Sploosh.
Chewy's here.
You guys are after me.
Giant size Danger Room episode.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I should have did Chewy next. He's freaking alphabetical. What am I?
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it, man. It's all
I
good.
talked to Deaton the most, so.
Wow, and I'm just
That's
like
my excuse.
liver.
That's
my
perfectly
excuse.
fine, man. That's all good.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Y'all are chopped liver when it comes to me, so it's whatever.
Yeah, there you go all time.
There it is. Yeah, Mr. Feelings come out.
Okay.
What we haven't said is that this is the three of our last episode. Mike's kicking off to Lucas and Sooner.
Oh, pretty much. Yeah.
It's the Danger Room squad goals now. Yeah.
I used them to get my W, and now we're back. We're back out of that. It's fine. Squad goals is over. It's in the past. Cool. Yes, we're here doing tier lists. Sploosh has been begging me to do a tier list for probably
A year.
8 months. It feels like a year.
It's probably been a year.
Yeah. But I was like, you know what? Now's the time to do a tier list. Why? Because it is junk food content, and it's the summertime, and it's about halfway point to the Christmas episodes, which is the opposite of junk food content. So,
Yeah, we've earned this.
plus everyone loves baseless speculation.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, since MCP is just such a gigantic game, we can't do a tier list for the entire game in one episode. This episode will just be on 3 threats. We have 5 tiers. S, A, B, C, D. They have names on the screen for us. S tier is like our logic for S tier is splashed all the time. They're typically better than affiliated models, and they're one of a kind. Our A tier are models that are top in their own faction and often splashed elsewhere. Our B tier is our faction role players, like they're good and perfectly solid in their own faction, not typically splashed. The tier lower than that is they're edged out of their own faction by the more competitive choices. And then our last tier is the name is Gambit, forget it.
I kind of want to call
Gambit
that one
make it to his own tier.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I kind of want to call that the G tier, but we'll go with D for that one.
Poor guy, dude. Oh my god. Oh.
I take no pleasure in this.
All right.
No.
But Sploosh knows it to be true, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're going in alphabetical order. We got a lot of models to get through, so let's get going. First up's Ant-Man. Who's played Ant-Man in the recent past? I have.
Brother, I haven't played.
And you all played Ant-Man?
Been a hot minute.
It's been a while for me, man. It's been since 2021, I think, when Criminal Syndicate came out. It's the last time I played him.
All right, fine. I'll take Ant-Man.
Take
so,
him. Yeah. Oh, man.
So Ant-Man's extremely fun. It's honestly a shame that he's held back by a couple things, because he's extremely fun and is actually like pretty good at the things that he does, but he often can't do everything you'd want him to do, and then he gets edged out. And what's great about Ant-Man is he's can hit the midline like decently hard early game, and he's pretty mobile with all the place ones from the transforming and the range 3 teleport. His biggest issue is he has a hard time utilizing his mobility on things you would want them to do to score. So like a spider portals, he's at 2 energy defense, so he doesn't roll on the portals very well. And he also can't hold extracts, like really ever. Like he can hold something, but then he's got to get rid of it. So also his 6 dice attack is range 1. It can be weirdly restrictive, but I mean, hey, it hits pretty hard. If Ant-Man's like lined up against you from the enemy team, and you're just like gonna walk into him punching you for 6 dice and then like beaming your team next round, it can be pretty spicy. But
his
personally, I'd
his
like
one
Ant-Man to just get. Go ahead.
well, his one cool trick is he can move 4 times in the turn 1 and like go on a back like D. So
That's true.
basically,
Yeah.
like he has double medium or on normal size, and then he can change forms, which is another movement, and then he can hitch a ride for 0 and surprise opponents. It's kind of the one cool thing. I mean, he does some cool like I mean, you could do that, for example, on like Gamma or something. He's a nuisance. I actually remember losing to Pat when he was playing Ant-Man under Sam like 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, Ant-Man just got some issues, and I feel like he's no affiliations ever like his leaders in the Avengers have just never like been that interesting for him, and that's been kind of a problem. And then as the game keeps growing and there's like over 63 threats, unfortunately it's just he gets edged out. I should probably also say I said he has a C tier character, which is basically just edged out by other characters. And then I just don't see like why you'd splash him when you could just like pick from one of the other 60 characters or 60 plus. So yeah, I mean, I could suggest things that I don't like about him. Like he should have 3 energy. I'm kind of like, I don't think the whole like can't hold extracts is aged super well. Actually, other than that, I don't know. He's pretty fine.
Yeah, personally, I think the extract thing is kind of like there's some jank you could do where he can midline grab things.
I guess with Hitch a Ride, yeah. Like Hitch a Ride, maybe.
I suspect that's why.
But just make Hitch a Ride not. He can't use it with an extract, right? Like
I think that's the obvious answer, right? Like Gwenpool, where he just can't teleport if he's holding something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if he switches forms, that's a power. So he's gonna need like R&D or something to hitch rides, right? While also picking up an extract. So it's like not that easy. But anyway, it's just he's a really fun character to play. I can't emphasize that enough. And I actually have played him, I think like a year ago. But yeah.
It is really fun to play. And it was fun watching it back in the day when everyone was playing with Criminal Syndicate with him. It was really cool. I liked everything he did. I mean, I think Sooner had him in his list back in the day.
Yeah, he miscut with it though.
He miscut with it. He did. Unfortunately, man. Wah, wah. But like the crazy things he was doing on Gamma with like like you just said, double moving, transforming, hitch a ride, go to the back Gamma, threaten back Gamma, things like that was pretty cool. I think every one of the games, I think he needed Ant-Man to really swing big, and he just didn't. The game just ended, or whatever it was. But I mean, I think it's just it's like you said, he's an Avenger. There's so many better 3 threats to take over him right now. I think he has a lot of cool, like, fun things to do. And honestly, I think the last time I saw him actually was against you, wasn't it, Sploosh? Wasn't that guy playing Guardians against you when you're with Malekith, and he had Ant-Man in his list?
I play against it? I think I did play against an Ant-Man.
Yeah, he had Ant-Man in his list. I think I remember that. I think in the semifinals or whatever it was. I think there was a Peyton's dad or whatever. Either way.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, if you can give him the winging tokens and all that stuff, I mean, he's got extra rerolls and all that. Pretty interesting at that point in time. And also, honorable mention, Tactus card can throw anything.
True.
So that's also a thing. So, that's my take. That's my take on it. But I agree. I just think edged out, but just by better choices at this point in time in the game. I think.
Eden, anything on that, man?
No, I agree with you guys.
Thanks for being disruptive.
Oh, it's coming. Just wait.
It's
wait.
coming. Oh,
all right.
I've got a limited budget, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Fair enough. We got a lot of characters to get through. But yeah, Ant-Man, super fun. Wouldn't fault anyone for playing him, but he typically gets edged out by the competition.
If you do play him, play Pin Particles because it's the best.
Pin Particles. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Also true. All right. Next up, we got Arnim Zola. Dean, I'm giving Zola to you. You played Hydra.
That sort of included Zola. Yeah. So Zola started in the Hydra list. I was playing a lot of Strucker, and Zola is a character who is super, super cool when you read his card, in my opinion. There's a lot of like interesting stuff going on, and he's just not very good with all of it. So I think the biggest problem that Zola has is 2 physical defense is really, really tough. He is a big model, and so he's also damage for your opponent. So he's pretty easily punished on top of being super slow. So when you start to sort of then put him on the table with those couple factors, he's really a couple of those. They just don't all mesh together. So it's like, he takes damage, and so that health pool can evaporate pretty quickly. It's expensive. Then do you have power for the rerolls? Maybe, but his rerolls are negative. So there's like a lot of good, but it's like he's a scientist who like just kind of is a bad scientist. So, I really want to like Zola, and every time I put Strucker on the table, I put him in the list, and then he eventually gets cut. So, some cool stuff on there, but when you're really looking at it, I think he just doesn't end up making the cut for me. So
yeah, I think
C tier.
Zola, like the things that are good on Zola are his attacks and the reroll aura, like under the assumption you're playing Strucker.
Right.
But yeah, he has like a pretty good health for 3 threat. But yeah, the low physical defense just allows models to build power off of him, like enemy models, just by hitting him for a lot of damage, and then it just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I think it's like he's just like slightly underbaked stat wise. Like if he was just like 3 defense and had a medium move, he's probably perfectly fine.
Yeah, if he had some way to deal with the drawbacks, like he needs 3 defense, in my opinion. Like that's a huge way to helping him. But also both of his attack boosts, which sort of let him drive that cool kit, are negative. Now he's immune to his own bleed, which is a little anti-synergistic with Strucker's leadership, so it's also kind of hard, right? Like you don't want to reroll on yourself and then hand out the bleed, which is like the play pattern. So yeah, just a couple of things here and there. But his prototype weapons is super good. It's a very strong attack, especially in combination with experimental enhancements and handing out those conditions. Like he's got some good stuff on here. It just doesn't come together fully.
Yeah, I like both of Strucker's attack or Zola's attacks. Chewy, anything on Zola?
No, I mean I played him when he first came out for a little bit. Really cool model to paint, by the way. Probably one of my favorite models that I've painted. He's in the top 10 easily. Play wise, I mean, I was underwhelmed. I always kept saying I could play Shuri. She kind of does the same thing. She has a push. I wish he had some sort of control on his builder. To be honest with you, like an advance or something, or I don't know. The defense dice, I mean, it's just too low. It's poopy. The other thing is too, every time I played him, I felt like I just never had enough power. Like it was just weird. It was all he's missing something. In his kit, and I just I think like you said, maybe moving medium, adding defense die would help. I think because he's supposed to be like the Hydra Shuri, right? And I don't get that from him. Like I get more mileage out of Shuri. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's weird.
I think he's a little held back by the Hydra cards not being great, like the affiliated cards.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say that.
Yeah, I mean the reality is that Strucker 2 is, while fun, it's not the strongest archetype in the world, and so you need your characters to be pulling more weight than Zola can pull, in my opinion. So
Hydra just doesn't have a really compelling reason to play them. I think Strucker's leadership is actually pretty good randomly. Like if there were cards that were better for them.
Nope, I agree with that.
If they just had a surprise webhead level card or something, then it would be a lot more compelling to play these models. But there isn't really a reason to play like Hydra when you could just play Cabal or something. They're all the same affiliation.
They do have surprise webhead in Cosmic Obliteration now. Is there for Red Skull 2?
Yeah, but you can play that card in Cabal, so it's fine.
So funny.
All right, next up, Baron Mordo. Who's taking Mordo? Who's played Mordo?
I've played Mordo a little bit. I can talk about him a little bit.
You played Mordo? All right, Mordo's yours.
Yeah. Baron Mordo, I played against him and I played with him. When I was playing with him back in the day, it was Brotherhood and I was trying out some Baron Mordo stuff. Just to add the attack dice and all that with Magneto. And it was really cool, actually. Very interesting. It was easy for me to get the power to do so because getting the leadership just constantly adds power. And Magneto doing 8 dice attacks was insane. I mean, Mystique doing a 6 dice rapid fire, attack, whatever. That was pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. Because outside of that, I think he's missing something too. His attacks are kind of just whatever. I think the coolest thing he has on his kit, outside of the adding dice thing, which is I think he has like an anti-push thing, if I remember correctly. If you push him or something like that.
Yeah, it's when he gets pushed, he can pay 2 to like push himself back, or he gets an advance or something. Yeah,
that's really cool, and I think him playing against Web Wars, especially if you're a Convocation player, and this is just honestly, I just think he's good in Convocation. Outside of that, he's just don't try it. But doing the whole anti-push thing is really cool. He could just move around and all that, and just add attack dice. And from there, that was it. I mean, when I used him, I was like, oh, okay, I see where he can go. But when I played against better players that understood, hey, what the weaknesses of this character are, exposed them really quickly, and it was just like, okay, what do you do now? It's like, what is it, right? But I would put him. I say solid in faction in Convocation, honestly.
So like B.
Is that B?
Yeah,
That's B.
Yeah.
I don't even.
I think for me, Strucker or damn it, Mordo. Freaking all these Barons. Mordo. Yeah, we're in the Baron block.
Yeah,
you're in the.
Mordo goes in C tier for me.
Okay.
I
would have him at C tier. Yeah.
So my first instinct was like, is he B or C? I actually think there's like, I'm kind of like in the middle on it, but I went with C because over the last year, just Convocation's playing like Wong and like anything else they can play,
Yeah.
And so like he's not even like, the whole point of C is he's getting edged out by his own affiliation, and the fact that his own affiliation can pick any character to be their leader, and the fact that the Convocation's whole thing right now is like playing Ultron. It's just like they're trying to get the lowest threat characters possible, and I guess Magic's sort of edging Mordo out, and I don't know, Mordo. Just the 2 physicals kind of crazy. I do think like his ranged attacks are like what you want him to have with how kind of squishy he is. And I don't even know, like he has that ferocity of Sidorak where he does a damage to his teammates, which obviously with like healing factor is kind of cool, but like wizards don't have healing factor. So I just kind of like wonder now, like maybe it was fine if that doesn't do damage to your own characters, I think that would maybe raise him up a little bit for me.
I think so.
I really think that ability needs to be range 4.
Yeah.
You would really feel 100%. It at range 3.
Yep.
If it was range 4, I would be a lot more excited about Mordo.
Yeah. I watched Lucas. I watched Lucas play Mordo in Cabal against Right Mad, and Lucas won, but it literally had nothing to do with Mordo. And a lot to do with like Strange just beaming like an entire team twice in a row. But his whole thing was he was trying to give bonus dice to like do cool stuff with the Red Skull 3 leadership. Honestly, it just didn't seem to be that good, and I think Lucas pretty much swore off Mordo after that game. So yeah,
that's pretty much
it was
what
worth
I
the
did.
shot.
Yeah, I just said okay, I have better options. I was like, I can play anyone else. But he was a character, like when he first came out, I was really excited because I was playing leaderless foes at that point in time. And I was like, oh, someone could add dice and I don't have to spend 8 threat to do so. Cool. But
yeah, my plan was to give dice to Loki and Cabal with Red Skull Street leadership. I thought that'd be cool. But it's like doing damage to Loki who's only a 5 health and was using a gem.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like an ideal decision. So I went against it.
I think one thing that I think Soul Barb is the thing that always brings me to playing him.
Sure.
Abilities can be nuts. I think there might be something there with like Cosmic Obliteration and Soul Barb.
That was my plan
hex
for like a
bombing.
weekend.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's fair.
Because hexing an entire team should be very strong.
Yes.
So,
100%. Yeah.
especially on your D maps. So I think I agree with you guys that he's probably certainly in Cabal he ends up edged out. In Convocation, they're all just kind of not great for what the affiliation wants to do.
Right.
So it's more edged out by better choices in not the 3 threat bracket, but
Yeah.
C is fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Did you guys actually say the grade on Zola, by the way?
Yeah,
Is that C?
Zola's also in C. I forgot to say it. So we're
Yeah.
we're 3 for 3 in C tier.
We'll post it
Yeah.
so that the
Yeah,
community can roast
Yeah,
us.
that'd be all right.
this will be on YouTube as well on Chewy's channel.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, next up we got our third Baron and Baron Strucker. I'm
There's
giving this
more.
one a beating again.
Yeah, the Baron Strucker's good, man. He's one of the most unique archetypes in the game. So he's condition-based leadership, and I think what that does is it makes him like he's a good enough character on his card that you can just build around what he's doing, and you're going to be happy with that. It's not the best affiliation in the world. I think a lot of that comes down to what we were talking about with Zola and some of the Hydra drawbacks. But, you've got Baron Strucker and like Baron Zemo as a core for that type of thing. So great. We're off on a good start. I think you can play that and have some good success. Strucker's card itself, 4/3/3/5 health. He's way more durable than that because he has Strategic Genius, and he has Healing Factor. And he has exceptional healing access. And the big thing is like you're just asking for him not to get one shot. And if he doesn't get one shot, you're a pretty happy camper. His attacks are both good.
Dude, his builder is basically Cable's builder.
Yeah, his
It's kinda
builder is
crazy.
very good. It's range 3/5 dice, wild incinerate with 1 reroll. And
It's almost better than
He
Game
can
Boy.
count
And if you arrogance it, it's
Yeah.
very similar to like Cable's builder.
Very.
Yeah.
it's super strong. Whether or not it's right to arrogance all the time, you just do it anyway. Like it's way more fun to play him that way. Just
True.
like just arrogance things. Deathspore Virus is like whatever. To me, it can be good in niche situations, but his big drawback is that he is immobile. He is very static on the table, and his spender being range 2 and his builder being range 3 means it's pretty easy to stay out of those range bands. But I like Strucker a lot. I'd go B tier for Strucker.
Yeah, I think Deaton hit the nail on the head. I like Strucker too. I put him in B.
I like
Yeah,
Strucker as well.
For me, I didn't get to talk about Zola at all, but like I always compare Zola to Strucker, and it's like when you talk about edged out by affiliation, like I feel like this is the guy who's edging out Zola. So of course he's a B because he's the one that stays.
That's fair.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna stop with it because we talked enough about Strucker, but I do feel like Strucker is like this kind of stat stick character where it's like, how do you possibly complain about these stats? Like everything about him just feels a little like overcharged, but I'm fine with that. And the negative is, like you said, he can't move much. He has no action economy really. Which
he does
it
just
reminds,
with his dice. Like,
yeah, which
he'll just die.
go ahead. Yeah, no, he can just die, but like you can't really blame AMG for that because it's like they gave him so much stats for what he is. If they gave him any more stats, it would be just absolutely crazy.
He also has access to exceptional healing, right? He has healing factor 1.
Yeah, that too, right? So he can
So he
prevent
can protect
spikes.
himself from being one shot. Yeah, like when I play against Strucker, I'm A, terrified of his attacks, and B, I never try to kill the guy. Like, it's so much effort to actually remove him from the table.
It's a lot.
Because like you have to like double one shot him to like bust through exceptional, and then if you don't do that, he just like okay, so he's not dead. Let's say he's on 4 damage. If he does 3 damage with spender, which is like pretty normal damage, then he healing factors. He's just all of a sudden full health again, and you're just like, this is so stupid.
Yep. And I just wanted to finish with like he kind of reminds me of the new Crossbones, where like AMG dares us to play him, where they're like, okay, I understand. Like for example, because we talked about Crossbones in a previous episode, but literally, where basically our description was like, okay, here's a small base that moves short, but he has all these crazy stats. I dare you to play him. And Strucker feels the same way, where it's like, okay, yeah, he's not Baron Zemo's mobility, but look at these stats. Like, you can play this guy, you know? So, yeah, that's my feeling on him.
So
Cool.
I always am going to caveat this with maybe I'm stupid and use the tool wrong, but it's like the exact same thing as Cable's Builder. It's actually like almost 1% better. At dealing
Okay, yeah,
damage.
there you go.
It is.
Into 3 defense dice. So obviously, as the defense dice go up, Cable's Builder gets better relative to Strucker's. But I mean, come on, that's pretty good for a 3 threat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
It's very good.
Yeah, I think Hydra is literally, they were just kind of dead on release. I think if they had better cards, we would see them a lot more. Like I could easily see a world where people play Strucker with like 6 models if they had cards that compel people to do that.
Can you imagine if Hydra had like Wakanda Forever?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it'd be dope.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, the Hydra cards are really thematic. I just think they're tuned poorly. Like they're too expensive, or they have too many restrictions on them, or something.
Yeah, you're playing mini games.
I think the ideas are there.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Yep. Next, so Strucker is in B tier. Next up, we got Baron Zemo 1 from the original core box.
Let's not let Sploosh talk about him.
All right, I'll take him then because I've been playing him so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Zemo is incredibly dumb. There's no reason for this model to be a long mover. And then on top of that, he just has charge and he has mobility on his spender. He's got rerolls for days. He gives his team rerolls. Because of the long move, he has like amazing objective play. Like Zemo's really just probably the best 3-threat in the game, if not tied for the best. So I don't know. I don't have much else to say about him. He just does kind of everything that you would want anything ever to do.
He's been this. Here's the thing. He's been the same character since he's been released, and it just seems like to me he gets better as time goes on. Right? And they're like...
He's definitely aged upwards.
Yes, he's aged upwards, right? Versus other characters that weren't made as well as he was, that have, fallen off, right? So that just shows it. Like, I understand where AMG's at, right? Because they're looking at this character and they're like, damn it, dude, we nailed it with this guy. They're like, this guy's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that. I think AMG definitely regrets giving Zemo a long movie. I think they've said they've realized. They've never done that again.
Well, remember, they haven't done that since, right? But he's the only character, right? I think, is he the only 3-threat that works this way right now?
Excuse me. There's this dumb Sam Wilson dude.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Hold on, let me get in there, because I remember when the first character pass happened, right? They were like, "Oh, why aren't you touching Red Skull? Why aren't you touching Zemo?" There were questions like this in the stream if you watch them, and literally, it was either Schick or Pagani, was one of those two. They were like, "We just think he's well made. Like, there's nothing to change on him. We don't feel like there's anything to change because we just think he's everything. Like, why change him, right? There's nothing to fix. Granted, we have a difference of opinion now because we're 4 years in or 5 years in or whatever. And the game is, and as we're talking about, as the game continues to evolve, he just sticks around. He's just that solid. So I don't know if they're ever going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're ever going to look at him and be like, we need to change this character. But with that being said,
I hope that's not how they feel.
No, I hope that's not how they feel either. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, I have him in S tier because he's the jack of all trades, right? Rerolls, moves, charges, does damage. He randomly one-shots characters. I mean, I lost to a Zemo a couple of weeks ago where he had 2 health, and for some reason I couldn't do 1 damage, and he was incinerated because he had rerolls. And it was absolutely annoying. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's up there. He's up there. I think he's either tied for the best. I don't know if he's best in the game right now because I have someone else that's best in the game right now. But he's up there. He's definitely top 3 for sure.
I do think it's super telling that AMG has not, and with him and Black Panther, we have not seen 2-power reroll any of your dice again, if I'm correct.
I think
that power just doesn't get printed anymore. And so I do think the combination of things on Zemo, because there are only 10 long-moving 3-threats. 2 of them have charge, and then 2 more have pseudo-charge in Crystal and Quicksilver. But so I think the package of stats is obviously very good, and we're in a wave where he's very, very popular right now. So, just disarm him, everybody. You'll be fine.
Again, he hasn't had
Dare
a.
you, Deaton.
He had, yeah, for real. He hadn't had a leader that wanted to play him for a long time, right? He'd always, but he saw a ton of play Splash, but now he's played in faction fairly comfortable, very comfortably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
And a lot of
you could play him with Malekith back then, but Deception Unrestricted was a big deal.
Yeah,
it was.
It was competition for him.
And just anecdotally, when I played Strucker, a lot of the success was the Zemo giving the different folks rerolls, which Strucker can do, but Zemo would be able to do it and still be relevant.
Yep.
So very good character.
Yeah. Also, I think when AMG said what Chewie was saying, the new objectives weren't out yet, or the current crisis set. He randomly is even better on those because he can safe grab close scrolls, for example, which wasn't a thing back then.
True.
So
true.
My memory of what they said
has gone up.
Mike, my memory of what they said was he's on the line, and we would definitely not make him a long mover again. But
yeah,
that's it. They're I don't.
I mean, dude, I agreed with them at the time. I wouldn't have nerfed him back then. I think now he needs to be brought in, and I don't think he needs much. Just make him medium move. The long move is nonsense, and then I would like to see Swordsman be once per turn. I think that's all I would do.
Well, this was two solid changes. I mean, he's still the same character, right?
I personally, I think if Swordsman was just reroll 2 dice, it's probably fine. They could even make it 2 dice and reroll skulls or something. But yeah, it's whatever. Obviously, I think the biggest thing with Zemo is he's going to constantly be a problem if the game lets us add dice easily. And right now, Thanos is kind of exploiting that. But you get rid of Thanos, hypothetically, there'll just be something else eventually that'll give him dice. And so it gets a little Zemo, as he is just a very, very, very good character. I just think he's got these weird combos that can come out of nowhere. Back in the day, it was Blind Obsession and, all no matter the cost, and just what was it? The other one there that added the crazy dice, Doom Prophecy.
Doom Prophecy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So sure, those cards are gone now, and so Zemo kind of chilled out. And like you said, Zemo really didn't have a leader for years, and so he's basically just this unaffiliated character. But yeah, I do think the big thing with Zemo is, like you said, the long move might be a little crazy, and the rerolls on the Master Swordsman can get a little out of hand. Yeah, keep in mind Dark Reign exists, so it can get really out of hand.
Yeah, yes.
It gets very out of hand.
I just rolled my dice 3 times.
Yeah.
All right, Zemo's an S tier. Everyone sees him. Everyone knows about him. He's been here since day one.
Day one, bro. Yep.
All right, next up we got Beast.
Ooh.
Give Beast a sploosh, man. He's played him the most.
Oh damn. Oh man. I'm gonna go with B tier. Beast is one of those characters that when you look at him, it's just not exciting. You're always thinking, oh, I can play this other character instead. Maybe it's Shadowcat or X-23 or something. It always seems like there's another character that's more exciting. But Beast is kind of this crazy role player. The biggest thing with Beast is the fact that he's got the 2-cost throw. And sure, it's size 2, but a lot of characters in this game are size 2. I don't know the math, but I assume it's a very high number. And my favorite thing in the world is always going to be Beast moves, throws Magneto, and then moves again. That'll never get old. And, it just so happens that Magneto throws things, and Beast has 4 physical with a reroll option that also allows him to reroll on dodge dice. So, yeah, Beast is just a menace in the right matchups. There was even a time where energy attacks kept getting more, the game for a while just felt like it was obsessed with energy attacks. A lot of CGR, Malekith, X-Force stuff, Guardians.
Dynamo.
Dynamo.
Yeah, Dynamo. Yeah, and everyone just keeps saying, "Oh, this is the time where Beast isn't going to get played." I'm starting to take Beast out of my rosters, and then slowly I start seeing people talk about how Beast is in their roster again. And Beast just randomly MVPs games. It really, I hate to say it really just comes out of his throw. But the fact that he can acrobatic strike onto people's free action economy.
Oh, 100%.
He's very
He
efficient.
randomly just refuses to not die.
Yeah,
refuses to die, rather.
Yeah, he's not quite Lizard, but he feels like Lizard sometimes. And I'm going to end it with this, but the fact that Beast is also size 3 is randomly awesome.
Yes.
Sometimes people are like, all right, I throw your Beast. It's like, he's size 3. Oh, what the heck? And they're like, oh, that's not good. My plan is ruined. So that's also cool. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think he's still solid in affiliation, and he has not been edged out, even though he's the OG X-Man. And he's also Inhumans and Avengers, which is crazy when you think about it, because both of those are like, he can still play with all the Avengers. Ambush is more reliable under one Steve. He's throws one power cost under another Steve. Black Bolt's leadership is fine with him. I mean, he kind of just keeps synergizing.
He does. The last time I played, it's funny you mentioned the Magneto thing, because the last time I played X-Men was when I was playing Ghost Gears list, just randomly, just at locals and stuff like that. We had a league going on, and the guy I played against was Brotherhood, and all I kept doing was just chucking Magneto backwards every single time with Beast. And I was like, see, this is what you do to Brotherhood, man. You just throw Magneto. He's like, this is annoying. I'm like, I know. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm just gonna keep doing it over and over and over again, because I play Brotherhood, I know how to beat it, and I'm gonna show him like this is what you do. But no, man, he's just a solid character all around, man. He's fun to play. That's one. He is one of my favorite X-Men characters ever of all time. So that's cool too. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm just playing a comic book with him. I'm envisioning him just jumping around and just chucking people. It's great. Defensive reroll is fantastic. Not just this, he gets power off of failures. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I was forgetting that for like the first year.
I don't forget that.
Oh, dude, I forgot it for a while. I'm like, oh, he does gain power. Oh, cool. I'm like, whatever. So he has his own way to gain power. It's really good. Like strategic genius, or I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Whatever.
Disconcerting yet provocative.
There you go. God, that's such a cool name for that.
Surprised they didn't just give him scientific hubris.
Yeah, scientific hubris. Yeah, there you go.
He is just a. Oh, I guess it's because it's not a crit, right?
Yeah, it's not a crit. Yeah, it's a fail. It's a fail result. Yeah. But no, great character, solid in faction. I honestly forgot he was Avengers and Inhumans. Like now, I want to make an Inhumans list with Beast actually. Huh. But that's all I got in the guy. He's great. I have fun every time I play him.
Cool.
I will not let this slide. Someone needs to fix the wild must place.
Yes, please.
It is the one thing that makes me mad every time I play him. Put a May on there. Put it on Squirrel Girl. Let's all move on with our day. Thank you. My TED Talk.
Yes, I agree.
You're right about that, though. You're right.
I know I am.
Yeah.
If AMG's listening, for the love of God, stop it with the ambush being a must, please. Anyway.
All right. Next up, we got Black Cat, everybody's favorite.
Oh.
I'm throwing Black Cat to Deaton. It's his baby, even though I love her.
I mean, yeah, I've played quite a bit of Black Cat. Slap her in the OLS tier and call it a day. I mean, she is one of the premier splashes in the game. I think, and she has been for a long time.
It's since single extracts disappeared.
Yeah, and I think, they nerfed her, and, well... Okay. Hang on. So I think that what they did to her was, in fact, a nerf. Because before, the steal was, like, the way you set it up was just ridiculous. Like, there was nothing your opponent could do if you decided you were going to steal their stuff. And that was your plan. Now, Black Cat doesn't steal half as well, right? And action is huge. That said, when they then buffed the defenses, they turned her into a different character. Black Cat is very scenario relevant, but she is the best anti-attrition 3 in the game. She will not die to things. She will stagger them, and she will be relevant scoring points while doing so. but she's not that great at any specific thing in the scenario game. The steals are good. She can steal things back. I'm not discounting the steal necessarily, but I think she's in there because she is impossible to bring down easily. She's just not efficient. I won't say impossible, but yeah, I mean, she's just an S tier to me.
So, could you do me a favor? Could you move Black Cat in front of Zemo for me,
Yeah,
please?
no one else really does what she does, right?
Yeah, I mean, she just
She is
I mean, I
singular.
don't think our tiers are particularly ordered.
No,
So.
okay. So this is the real best 3 threat in the game right here. Black Cat.
And
She's-
so
and I'm gonna say it, and this is gonna be my hot take, and everybody's gonna disagree with me. That's fine, whatever. She is the real best 3 threat in the game. Not being able to, she's hard to kill. Not getting crits. Not being able to reroll into her. Stagger is insane. There's too many ways to set that up. They still haven't changed that. I wish they would. Whatever.
You shut your dirty mouth.
No, I will not.
Get
I
out
will
of
not.
here.
This
No.
character has robbed so many games from me when I've made logical, sound decisions to drop her, and it doesn't happen because, guess what? I can't reroll that kid. Even though I incinerate her, I do all this other kind of stuff. Dude, she's the best character in the game. Listen, I love Zemo and everything he does. She is. Dude, the other day, I played against Hellfire Club. I moved all the way across the board with Rhino, and Rhino's broken. We're going to talk about that later. But either way, I rolled so many dice into her, and it didn't matter. She took no damage. It just kept moving. It just kept moving and moving and moving. And she just won. And I'm like, okay, this is sick. So that's my hot take on Black Cat. I love the way she's designed, by the way. I do think there is a you need to be a good pilot with her, right? You can't just play her however you want, right? There is a skill to play her. But man, dude, absolutely obnoxious. She got better. In my opinion, she got better. The steal being nerfed needed to happen anyway, because that falls in line with everybody else. But she got better. No crits, no rerolls.
So, I'm going to argue with the whole she's the best character in the game only because
No, best.
I think Zemo and Black Cat are like a yin and yang kind of thing. Where like one's the attrition character and one's the objective character. So basically, I feel like you're just exposing your bias on either I like this one style of play and hate the other style of play. At the end of the day, they both are just like kind of best in class for their style.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
Well,
No, I play. I don't just play attrition. I play scoring team. I played Black Cat. I played both these characters. I understand what both of them are doing. Zemo, I can kill if I set it up properly. I can kill pretty easily. Cat, even though I set it up, the fact that I cannot reroll to add more consistency and the fact that I don't get crits is insane. And it's really good. And she's harder to kill than Zemo. I can get out of Master Swordsman range at range 2. You can't get away from crits. You can't get away from the rerolls from Cat. So that's the difference. So like that's why I think she's the best 3 threat in the game. Not the best character, best 3 threat in the game.
So the one thing I will say is that if there is a flaw to Black Cat, it is her lack of active. Like Zemo and someone we'll talk about later both have like, okay, I'm gonna choose to take the agency into my hands, and I'm gonna go do something very, very powerful and active. And Black Cat typically only gets to do that if you've engaged with her. She's very, very bad at turning herself on.
Yes.
She's gonna run around. She's gonna grab things. She's gonna be a nuisance.
Right.
But like, she's not getting to 2 power a turn and 4 power, like to have these big, swingy stagger turns.
True.
All the time.
That's
you
true.
have to give that to her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think that her buff was like having both things? Is it probably too much? Maybe, but you know.
Well,
I she's just the most fair character in the game. You roll your dice, I roll my dice. There's no crits.
Oh
no
my
rerolls,
god.
No nothing. Let's just get out.
Okay.
We're gonna
Bias.
let MCP dice, MCP dice. Get out of here. This is what you all wanted. You wanted to just roll dice at me. Well, here you go. This is what you get.
This is what happened.
You're right. I did.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead. Please.
Well, so I agree with you kind of, but like then she's played with Hellfire to give her power. She's played with Darkhawk to give her power. She's played with A-Force to get power. I know I'm missing one.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
There's
I,
Avengers.
I'm not
Every
trying to say she
affiliation
isn't as
Who's
good
the other?
as.
Oh, Wakanda. Spirit of Wakanda gives her power. That's the one I was missing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Getting her to. Yeah, I'm not saying that she's not deserving of S tier in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying that I'm more saying here's why I agree that she's in line, like she's something similar to Zemo and a different side of the coin than I think necessarily she's far and away the best thing that exists.
Yeah, it on paper you're right, and then it's as players we just find ways to get around it, right? So we combo her.
Yeah, I still think she takes skill to pilot though. Like all that being said, it
sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Roll better.
Oh God, roll better.
No, I mean I've had a lot of games where I just throw Black Cat just sort of throws herself at the board, and wherever she ends up is good enough.
Yeah, I don't think you just throw in the middle of the table and be like, "Hey man, whatever." No, she takes skill to pilot. I mean, but still, oh my God, this character. Anyway, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yep. Cat immediately to S tier. Keep going. She's good. I love her.
That was fun.
I will. My one thing I will say that you guys didn't talk about is I think this model is inflated tankiness wise because of Brace. I know I've been on like a small like Brace banning crusade, but I mean if AMG just like I don't know reduced the +1, like got rid of the +1 on like collision damage or something, and got rid of Brace, I think Black Cat's extremely easy to bring down.
Yeah,
like,
I agree that
avenue for her.
Brace is definitely her safety net, but to be honest, Zemo is also safety netting off Brace.
Yeah, there's a lot of models that get complained about for their durability, and Brace is a big factor of that. But that's like a different.
Yeah, right.
I do think that's an interesting point. I think what you probably do into Black Cat, not to keep the conversation here, but is like a lot of people will double tap throw and force the Brace at the end. And I think with Black Cat, you might want to do that in the inverse. Throw, and then if they Brace, go do something else so you don't give her power.
Yeah, that's a good
And if they don't Brace, well, finish her off.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a better way to order your stuff so that you're not just giving her 4 power, you get stagger bomb and you lose the game.
Yeah. Okay. Next up we got Agent Widow, aka Widow 2. This is one character I haven't played.
I played her once a couple years ago. I will say I honestly think she's just edged out by affiliation better choices. I don't think she's bad at all. I mean, I think she has, if I remember correctly, she has rapid fire, right? Wasn't this the character that got Doom banned or something? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, she's got automatic rapid fire.
Yeah, she had automatic rapid fire and it was insane.
So I'm gonna put this character. I'm gonna put this character in Gambit tier.
I was trying to save her. Oh!
So I agree with you just because she's in Avengers, which has so many choices, and Shield's pretty big too. And then I can't help but look at Punisher and just wonder, like, how did Punisher get a free movement and like a cool spender? And this character has like parting shot. Right. It's just
probably because of Interrogate, right?
Yeah.
They don't want
Interrogate's really good. Her spenders are quite bad.
Yeah.
And then she has no way to actually engage people. So if she like parting shots you, all right, well now she has to take a move action. It's kind of yikes.
Yeah.
I really think we should not dwell on this character because no one plays her.
No.
But I will say, I honestly think that AMG just way overrated at rapid fire when they made her. Was she the first rapid fire character ever, or maybe that's Mystique? I don't know. I can't remember.
Widow 2 was the first one, I believe.
Yeah. So I think they overrated rapid fire, and honestly, even with Mystique, they gave it the like roll a hit. I think that was their idea of nerfing it too. You know, so
I would also say that the Interrogate nerf that wasn't really ever a nerf. When they ruled you couldn't double interrogate was the death knell for this character ever getting played.
Yeah.
So.
And it also doesn't help that the other 2 Black Widows are great.
Yeah.
So
yes. Correct.
She's just top class. 2 threats better, 4 threats better.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Next up, Samuel Spamuel himself.
Oh
God. Sploosh's favorite model in the game.
Yeah, give him to Sploosh. Let's
Sploosh
go.
No. I'm good.
I can take Sam, I guess. If you don't want to. I mean,
I can talk.
I feel like if Sploosh is going to take Sam, I should talk about Sam.
I mean,
want to TTS league with Sam.
Yeah, did you do something with Sam? yeah.
Didn't you win NashCon with Sam? So
You did
I
win.
did. I still have my little wall trophy over to my left, and Sam is responsible for it, which is just like the
Is
worst.
it bittersweet?
It's like a monkey paw wish.
Win the tournament. Play the most hated thing.
Yeah.
And I played Hulk, guys.
Oh my god.
What have I done?
Yeah.
But the best way to prove something stupid is to play it yourself. That's how you. That's how you should play competitive MCP.
That's why Thanos and I are best friends now.
Yeah,
There you go.
Right. I mean, what is there to say about Sam? He's like long move charge with 2 costs. We were complaining about this S tier Zemo, and yet this guy does it, and he flies. Because oh wait, he attacks without requiring line of sight, and you don't get cover. Sorry, old X-Men players. And there's this thing called scoundrels that people like to play. So yeah, I don't know, man. Sam's just like, he's the wall of text character. He just does everything. Airlift is randomly insane. He is the kind of character that, like, you just get a hit and then displace someone, and then you can also ricochet things, and so you might just displace another person with seemingly like no range restrictions. I mean, yeah, you have to reflect off 3, but it could be like range like 8 or something when you're doing it. So, yeah, no. Sam's spender is insane. Sam's leadership is really good. He's super efficient, and he's like the Swiss Army knife of, I don't have to kill things. I can just go grab extracts that were dropped across the table, which is randomly the MVP move. Long movers are insane, and flying long movers are even better. So, I don't know. I have nothing else to say. Sam won me a tournament, and I guess Deaton did okay with him too.
I played him recently.
Sam good.
Yeah, I played him recently in my X-Force list, which was pretty cool. Not with X-Force. I had a X-Force Avengers duel for squad goals. And, yeah, I mean, he's just so damn good. I just go and chuck shields and move characters, do everything Sploosh just said, and just win, and watch my opponent constantly move my characters when he dazes my characters. That's awesome. His spender is insane. He throws a size 3, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, spender throws size 3. Yeah, build the shield throws pushes size 2.
Push size 2. So
it's just like a lot of random utility, great leadership.
Yeah,
everything,
absolutely. Yeah,
I think
really
Sam
good.
is a very fluctuates between A and S. And
Yes.
a lot of that's dependent on what splashes exist. Like Bill was a really bad release for Sam because he can't control him at all. Because Bill can aggressive anytime Sam does the damage. Same thing with like Rhino, right?
Yeah.
Sam, those things lower Sam, but I think he goes up and down between. He's probably not splashed enough, quite frankly, because he is a very, very good and consistent model. So,
Yeah.
Sam's leadership is literally what you just said. It's S or A too, because it depends on the meta and how aggressive the meta is, and the characters that the meta is playing.
Right.
If people are playing low mobility characters and kind of like tallish, his leadership is just absolutely insane. At the free actions and healing and removing conditions, I mean, it's wild. And yeah, it's just he reminds me of like a sideboard card in like Magic the Gathering, where it's just like you just have this card that completely annihilates a strategy. And if that strategy is good in MCP, he's really good. And otherwise, he's just good. It's still A tier.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
cool. I think we all agree.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Sam goes in A tier. I wouldn't put him at the time of this recording. I wouldn't put him at S tier. I think like he'd probably live in S if this was like the Malekith meta.
Yeah.
Or
also,
if they like repaint, yeah, go ahead.
Voodoo was like his best model, and I think kept him in the game, like made him competitive into things like Web Warriors. And now with Voodoo's been toned back. I think it's hard for Sam to compete in those kinds of games. So
Yeah, I'll give
I
an
think
example.
He's been leveled out.
If they reprint field dressing, Sam will become stupid again.
Of course.
Yeah.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, give that to Web
I'll-
Warriors.
Yeah, no.
Let's just give it all to Web Warriors, Dean. Let's give it all to them. Let's do it.
I'm not even kidding either. Like literally, field dressing would change the entire game for Sam. Because
yeah.
now I can just move people out of activation and like activate people with like Iron Fist or something. I mean, the combinations when field dressing was in the game was with Sam. It was just absolute insanity.
It was.
So
yeah. All right. Next up, we got Clea.
All right.
You want to take Clea, Chewie?
Can we just add another category below this and then put Clea there by herself?
Clea is not below Gambit.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't want to take. I just wanted to make that. I just wanted to ask if we could do that. If not, then go ahead. You can. Anybody can take her because I haven't played her.
Yeah. So Clea, I'll take Clea. I guess
Can we just edit this part where I'm just put the cut video of the guy rolling 4 skulls on his first
Yes.
Clea, and then we just walk away?
dude, please, Mike, tell people what he's talking about because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, for any podcast listeners, HPP Will had a game in the TTS cuts where he was playing Convocation, and he started the game. Clea uses her thing where she rolls 5 dice and like gains 3 power, and I think she rolled like 4 or 5 skulls and died, just like right off the rip.
That's so bad.
Drop dead.
And I think this was like a day after Sploosh was like, "This is bad, and people should be worried about it." Everyone's like, "No, it's fine. This never happens."
Yeah, and if anyone comes to our Discord and asks, I can find the link because I think I even bookmarked it.
Did you? Oh God, yes.
But on a serious note with Clea, my biggest problem with her. So she has a good throw. Like she has like a Storm's throw. It's fine. She has an easy way to gain power. My 2 biggest gripes with her are one, the multi-skull damage I think is just nonsense. I think it's just silly. Like just make it if you roll a skull, any amount of skulls, take a damage. And then I really don't like that her gainer is range 3. I think that really hurts her. If it went to range 4, she would be much more compelling. And I think the fact that she is pretty bad is why Convocation really misses. Like they're missing having her be good in the 3-threat slot. So that's really all I got on Clea.
2 defense physical models probably just shouldn't exist. With the
they went hard with the Convocation Iron Bomb books thing.
Yeah.
So no, listen. If AMG's listening, they need to fix it so that these characters in Convocation have like a special ruling like Mysterio where it says if you are taking a collision, like add a dice or something.
Yeah.
That way you can still get the theme you were going for where Ironbound Books is important while also having these characters not just instantly die to garbage cans.
Yeah, agreed.
I really don't think that's the main problem here, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time arguing about
it. It goes back to Mordo and Clea. The 2 physical defense, it's bad enough that they have that weakness, but then the fact that they just eat throws like crazy. I mean, if you get characters that are going to be pouncing into these characters every turn, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Collision damage is a known problem for Convocation. So yeah, Clea. She really hates not having a range 4 attack. Her spender's range 4, but obviously like you would like to be using that power to throw people or teleport people. I think.
For what it's worth, by
though. My local's been playing her with Emma, and teleporting models onto objectives before you use Hellfire Leadership has really been funny.
Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So that's something to think about, I guess. I don't know. All right, next up, we got Crossbones 1. Or did you do something else on Sploosh? I mean, Clea's.
Well, why does Vapors of Dormammu cost 3 power? What the heck?
They made everything cost 3 because that's her ability. Like, you gain 3 power.
Yeah, that's silly. And
her throw costs 3, your teleport costs 3, her spender costs 3.
That's just silly. And I agree with you with the range 4 thing. That's all I have to say. She's Gambit tier.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Next up, we got Crossbones 1. Original core box. Small was like not good when he came out and has not aged any better.
No, I just put him down there. In my opinion, just put him down there with Clea and Black. It's just throw him there. There's nothing else to say here. At least for me. Granted, I know there was that one time, whatchamacallit, Richmond and Merzane, they did that one video where I think he's the fastest character in the game or something like that at that point in time. I thought that was the most interesting thing ever that Crossbones has ever done to this game when someone did the math there.
Yeah, I mean, if he
But-
like double spenders and gets the throw on them,
Yeah.
and like the spacing lines up, yeah, he's like pretty
Yeah.
fast. But
I thought that was funny. I'm like, okay, that's outside of that.
I mean, they just reprinted a better version of this character.
Yeah, there you go.
the best part about this model is he can dual activate with Sin, who's also not great, and Alyssa Tech is a pretty good card.
It is. Yeah.
I wish that they would let Sin combo with the other Crossbones, and I don't think this is a crazy take, but I kind of just wish they gave us the new Crossbones card with this Crossbones. But I guess we got a cooler looking mini, so yay.
You're right though. It's not much to say, man. Like he just
Yeah, he's just old
yeah.
design doesn't feel great. Whatever. All right, next up is Crossbones 2. Much more interesting. I like Crossbones 2. I think he's pretty good.
B?
Putting him in C tier.
C?
B tier. That's
I
what I
think,
meant.
Yeah.
he's solid. Yeah.
He's a role player because of his speed and the way his beam works, but he's very good at it. He's got action economy.
Yeah, he's randomly harder to take down than you would like. And if he lines up like multiple targets in the beam, he can definitely do a lot of damage. And his spender's pretty good.
Yeah,
Spinner's pretty good.
he plays really well with sacrifice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he reduces damage anyway. He gets to aggressive, and then he has a beam. It's an energy beam. The fact it's not a physical beam, that's pretty damn good. It's got a weird pierce, but it's good.
Yeah.
That's my one big thing with this
Yeah.
guy is that his pierce is anti-synergistic with the leader whose box he came in. I don't like that,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
It should have
it's
made it
just
crit
weird.
wild.
Right, yeah, and then it'd be like super cool. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it makes him like, oh god, he's now unplayable. Like it's just what an odd
Yeah.
decision.
It's a really odd decision, and I played against them about a month ago in lunch meets. The guy was playing a MODOK leadership with him, and man, he was really getting annoying to take down. We were playing on Gamma of all things. It was X-Force into CS at that point in time, and like all I could remember was like this dude is really annoying. I need to get rid of him now before he launches his beam, and just attacks like 4 characters randomly, like right in that beam because it's really good. And the sacrifice play, I'm glad you mentioned that. He did that to me as well, and I was like, oh my god, that's right. He can take less damage, and now he can move, and now he's in position. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. I'm very impressed with this character, honestly. On first read, I was like, he's just Crossbones. I'm like, whatever. Then I looked at him again. I'm like, okay, hit and run. The aggressive, you don't have to pay for the damage reduction anymore. Granted, it's minimum to 1 now instead of 0, but still, I mean, damage reduction is insane in this game, in any game, honestly, that you play. It's fantastic. And yeah, man, and he's solid, man. I mean, I don't disagree where you got him. I think I think he needs to be explored a little bit more, honestly, with Cabal, but I don't know.
Yeah, this model's just waiting for Hydra cards to be good. Like
Uh-huh.
that's really all he needs.
Yeah.
The fact he's Hydra, Syndicate, and Cabal is just pretty awesome too. I mean, the dude, if it's like, like, not saying he is the best thing with like the new MODOK, but I'm just saying the fact he's in all the bad guy affiliations. Anytime a leader just appears, he's like, there's a thought of like, well, should I play Crossbones? And I hear what Deaton's saying about the weirdo Pierce system they got, but Red Skull 3 is once per turn, and sometimes you roll 2 skulls, and like I've played this guy a bunch, and I found the Pierce to be fine. I was never like super annoyed, because it's a beam, so you might roll even on one attack like twice or 3 times. So, and when you have sacrifice up, it really does troll the hell out of people. On like Gamma, people don't know what the hell to do. It's like, I don't want Crossbones to be my whole team.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about Crystal next. I like Crystal. I think she's always been mostly fine, solid.
Yeah, long mover has flight, can play drop off with She-Hulk. Solid.
Yeah.
It's really I mean, she could do 4 attacks on a turn. I think. No, 3. I apologize. 3 attacks. Right? Because it's like
Yeah,
attack,
she can make
attack.
3 attacks, yeah, or
Yeah.
move, attack, or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's what Dean meant by like pseudo charge.
Mm.
Crystal. I mean, Crystal's got good attack suite. She doesn't spend power super well. She has no spender. Her spender's just make another gainer,
Yeah.
and then like I just don't think she is played out of faction, which is fine. Like that's just she's like good in Inhumans and in
And A-Force.
A-Force.
Yeah.
Well, A-Force is debatable. I think she's mostly because A-Force just gives her power, which she has no problems with already. And I think the drop-off role for She-Hulk has been overtaken by Carol too. So you're kind of whatever on Crystal.
Okay.
So
But,
Got it.
her big thing is eyes on the prize in Inhumans.
yes.
Yeah.
Is there a
So-
less impactful rule in the game than elemental empowerment?
Yeah, I always forget to say.
What is
Like,
I
it?
gotta look at this again. Hold on. Wait a minute.
So
It's like you
you-
can't shake, incinerate, and whatever. Next
Slow
to
is
cannot-
done.
slow is done well within 3. Like, I'm not even commenting on whether it's good, bad, or like it's just it almost never shows up. Like it's never relevant. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be way better if it said cannot shake anything. I mean, then maybe like that's interesting, but I don't know. It probably gets weird with stagger though, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Crystal is probably just waiting for like a cheaper A-Force leader or Copium Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That are never
Oh.
coming. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. That ship is sealed.
So she's like a really low B, right? Like a very
yeah, I think
very
she's
low
just
B.
like perfectly fine as the other bees we've put here. Like
Yeah.
Inhumans makes good use of her. She's fine there.
Yeah, unless eyes gets removed from the game or something, then I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd probably just take.
I think
Beast
you
or
would still
something.
play her because she's randomly useful, and you kind of need to bring a 3 threat. It's like pick between her or Miss Marvel
Oh,
or
Beast and
Quicksilver, depending on like what the scenario is. So I think she's fine.
Acknowledge Beast.
Yeah, but I'm not excited about Beast and Inhuman just because he doesn't have power problems.
Yeah.
I guess he could give other people power, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Darkstar.
Oh, God.
Man, Darkstar is
I
rough.
just put her in the trash. Just do it. Just do it. She sucks, dude. I'm sorry. Listen, if my word choices offend you, I apologize. She sucks. She's not good. Her rerolls don't make any. I mean, she has the reroll all thing. It's whatever. She dies really fast. I don't know what she adds to the game. I think her tactics card needs to be reworked. The one that minus attack, it penalizes you. I don't understand that. Whatever.
Yeah.
She needs to be completely redesigned from the bottom up. My personal opinion. That's my take on Darkstar. I just think I wanted to play her because I thought she had this cool thing with the tactics card at this point in time when she came out. Because I was like trying to figure out ways to like, lower the attack dice and all that, or whatever it is that she did. And when I found out that it worked on everyone, I'm like, get out of here. Like just whatever. Like you're done. You're done with me. That's me. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
disappointed.
it seems like her power economy is scuffed because they made her teleport not once per turn.
Yeah.
So that just kind of like borks the rest of the kit.
Yeah,
So,
make
I
that
don't
once
know.
per turn and make both her abilities cost 2, and I'm in for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make her attack like
Dark,
a builder at that point. Maybe you have to do something with like the rerolls thing, but yeah.
Dark Force is definitely overcosted at 3 power for 2 dice, and I know it's got some weird
Yeah.
advanced push nonsense.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
But I think you make both her abilities cost 2, and she's worth discussing.
Yeah.
And once per turn for everything,
Yeah, she doesn't really function at the moment.
No.
Yeah.
So okay, next up is Deadpool. Deadpool.
Ooh, my boy.
Yeah, Deadpool's real good.
Deadpool straight to A
Deadpool,
tier, baby.
absolutely A tier. Fun to play, thematic, awesome on his injured side, trolls people, steals power. I love stealing power from characters. I don't know if this is my new favorite thing in the game to do. When I make Rhino not being able to rob or do anything, it's great. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna take power from you every single time. This is gonna be fun. I have to debilitate you a little bit. Cool. You can play exceptional healing.
Dude,
I
you liking
mean-
Bill's power?
Oh, I'm
Chef's
sorry.
kiss.
Bill, that too. That's another one. Oh my god. Oh my! It feels so good, bro. It's like you ever see Yipes when he does the look on his face? He's like,
Yeah.
bro. Every time I steal power, I'm like, oh my god, bro. It feels so good to do. I love that ability. And my only frustrating thing with him, and it's just a personal thing. It's not a real issue with him. Bang, just me and Bang have a bad. We don't mesh well. We don't mesh well. That's just all it is. Like I whiff it every single time. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
cool,
a you
whatever.
problem.
That's a me problem. That's not a him problem. That's a me problem. Outside of that, man, nah, he's sick, dude. I love everything they did with him. Leg day, I forgot. Leg day is absolutely fantastic. He has action economy. Thank you, AMG. Like he plays with
I
it
think
too.
they knocked it out of the park with Deadpool.
They did.
On the errata. I don't think Deadpool will ever need to be touched for the existence of this game ever again.
Correct.
So
Yes, very, very good.
He made taco trucks worth buying.
He did.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Bob.
Yeah.
Bob
okay.
owns. So yeah.
Yeah, everything about even the naming convention of Deadpool's card is everything's awesome about him. Just where's there not to love?
Yep. Yeah, Deadpool got a massive glow up. He probably would have been like the C or D tier prior
Oh yeah,
to the
dude.
errata, but now he's great.
He's just great.
If I had one pet peeve with him is maybe that he's an Avenger, but like okay, whatever.
Oh, not here, dude. When
Yeah.
I made my list, dude, I was playing Deadpool with Sam Avengers. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I could play Avengers Assemble. What? Okay, sure. Anyway,
It's whatever.
Yeah.
We're all just having fun playing with little plastic men, so it's all good.
exactly.
All right. Next up, we got Aquan. I think Aquan's fine. I think he's a solid model. Well-Laid Plans is good. I'm not a big Goblin fan personally, but there is probably a world where like you can replay him and Goblin for Well-Laid Plans if that's your thing. But I think he's like mostly okay, especially with like custom upgrades. Like it's good on him, just like it's good on Aqu 2.
For anyone who's listening and unaware, I don't think it's been announced, but it was in the AMG Discord, I believe, that the changes in the new Spider-Foes box were a misprint. So he's not getting changed at all.
Cool.
Like him and Goblin. So
Okay.
this is
breaking
good.
news.
Breaking news.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll just the negative of Doc Ock is he's not a 4th threat Doc Ock.
That's true.
I mean, I love me some 4th threat Doc Ock. So
I love
Yeah, 4th threat Doc Ock. I think I said in a very earlier pod when I reviewed the early Doc Ock that I liked Well-Laid Plans, and I don't know about Doc Ock, but I was wrong. The 4th threat Doc Ock is really, really good, and because of that, this Doc Ock may just not see a lot of play in theory.
Yeah. Why would you ever take?
I'm kind of tossed up on C or D for not D, B or C for Aquan.
It's gotta.
I
be
got
a
him at
C,
C
dude.
right now. I got him at C.
I think that he is solid if you are playing Goblin's leadership.
Yeah.
Sure, but
So
should you be doing that?
I mean, I think that you could, if that's what you're choosing to play, like he's good there. And he's fine. I think he's correct over the other Ock in that scenario. I don't think it's as good, but I think he's low B, high C. I don't really care between those two things.
Competitively, he's a C because you shouldn't be doing the things you just said.
If that's
all right,
I agree with you. If that's the line of thinking, so
I do. Yeah, I do agree that he's complicated in that it is based on the leadership a little bit, and it is a massive decision to choose in this case the leaders, just because you're dealing with the naming convention,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So
yeah,
but I think it's a C.
All right.
also
we got Domino now.
3-threat tier list.
Sorry,
Goblin is poop. Don't play him.
True.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
Let's move on.
We're the Doc Ock podcast.
We are, dude.
Anyway. Doc Ock 2 podcast. Dude, all right, Domino. Domino owns, man. Domino's A tier for me.
She's
Hell
always
yeah.
been good, dude. Always. She's a solid character, and X-Force got better with Cable's leadership and all that. I
think that's a B though, not an A.
I don't
I'm an idiot and
know
missed-
actually.
If Deadpool's an A tier, then Domino's an A tier.
No way.
No,
You know what? You're
no,
probably
no.
right. You're based on what we said. Deadpool
No, Deadpool has action economy. Do not take
Doesn't
that
really
away
get
from
splashed,
Deadpool.
does he?
No, but he's top.
Nobody
infection.
Did
splashes
Deadpool
Domino,
get
bro.
splashed, really?
What?
Deadpool, man. I mean, I played him in Avengers. I thought it was cool, but that's
Yeah,
but that's not really a
infiliation. That's not a
prick.
splash. So
No,
ooh,
nobody splashes Domino. Nobody. And
true.
I would play Deadpool in like maybe X-Men or something. I mean, I don't know anymore, but I definitely would have in the past. I also played Deadpool under like Cabal randomly. So I could see Deadpool in Criminal Syndicate because he's healthy on both sides.
That's true.
The Deadpool's definitely a step above Domino. The problem for me, and I'll never get over this, is that when they nerfed Malekith, they nerfed Domino, and I loved overpaying for her probability.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not good now. I'm just saying it is a nerf.
It wasn't nerf. I mean, I can't put her at 8.
What do I do here? Because I don't feel like I see Deadpool get splashed out of faction. I kind of violated my
So
own tier
we
list.
need to really decide what the A tier. We need to make sure because the wording says top infection,
Often
then-
splashed.
often splashed. If those are separate, then great. Then Deadpool comes down. If they're not separate, then Domino goes into A tier because she is the best damage dealer and is an auto lock for 3 of her 4 affiliations. You should probably play her in Air Force 2.
No, she just is solid in faction. It's literally her description.
But she's the.
I
top
feel like
3
she's a cut
threat.
above the other models we have in B, though.
You're not.
Yeah.
The community disagrees with you. They don't splash her.
The community just. Well, wait. How do we have this? I mean, I'll be
The
honest.
fact is, the splashing is a major factor.
but
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. It's like if that's what the tier is, fine.
Okay.
But she is the best damage dealing 3 threat in every one of her affiliations.
And yet nobody splashes her. But
Yeah.
I certainly would splash Deadpool. I realize that maybe I'm not playing optimal teams because I was experimenting, but 100% Deadpool and Syndicate and Cabal is a thing. And I have played Deadpool and X-Men. Now, is it optimal? We could discuss that all day. But Deadpool is so good that if there's like some new affiliation tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if someone played Deadpool. And if, like, for example, if Exceptional Healing is already getting spammed, you know, it's like, well, I could play Deadpool.
that's true.
So
I've never really.
we
I've
didn't
never
even
really-
mention Exceptional
I'm gonna go
Healing.
Deaton and make our sentences are going to be separate. Domino fits the first clause of A tier.
Oh no!
Why do I say that? Because the D tier makes sense. You either forget about the model or your name is Gambit.
I mean, that's part of the disagreement here, and it is what it is because, you know, Mike wins so much now. I have to agree with him, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she's
do think
definitely better than all these models right here in B. That's the thing.
she
She
should
is.
Yeah,
just be.
Domino's great.
I would put her first in B. Like, literally, I mean, we're not really worried about
yeah,
who's
we're
in
not.
what order,
Yeah,
but she is like the queen of the B.
yeah I
The
would
queen
say
bee.
that probably.
She's getting cheated on by Jay-Z.
Oh God! Shots fired.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, the distinction is not super important here. Like,
Yeah.
we're saying
Yeah.
she's extremely good, and her lack of action economy means you have to give that to her, and X-Men does a really good job of that. Either in 2 of their 3 leaderships. So, and Chuck has cards. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, yes, she's not Splash, but
Even Weapon X can move her around. So, like,
that is true.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
Domino's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very great kaiju killer.
Oh
So
yeah.
just randomly doesn't die, like a lot of the times, for the same reason people get frustrated with Black Cat. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, she was kind of the OG. What Black Cat was.
She
doing.
was the OG. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to Drax then.
Drax. Drax is like Drax is a C tier for me. He's definitely edged out by the 3s in his affiliation.
Oh, yeah, it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It doesn't help too that there's 2 2s in affiliation. So like, if you're just going low, you'll just take 2s, and then you'll
Yeah.
just bring some big monster.
Mm-hmm.
I want to love Drax so much. Like, every time I'm looking for a Splash 3, I look at Drax because he has some really good stuff on his card, and he also has some really bad stuff on his card. And it's just not enough.
He doesn't have a
Like-
range attack, does he? I think everyone's
he's
range
got-
2. Yeah.
A bunch of range 2 attacks, and
think
No
that's the
action
miss
economy.
with him, honestly.
I don't want to dwell on Drax, but I would
I
just
don't
say
either,
that the reason Drax is because Groot exists as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
Well, look at it this way.
Go ahead.
He is like the same stat line as Lizard almost, right?
Yeah.
Isn't Drax
Uh-huh.
like 6'5" or 6'6" or something?
Drax is
damage reduction?
6'6" with damage reduction, but he has
Drax
the.
is like 4'3", I think.
Drax is 3'3", That's the. These are the three.
Lizard's
Oh,
4'3",
he has
too.
3 physical. Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah. See, he's always so close to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
he just feels a little understated in today's game.
Yeah, he's really close to that Cage Lizard tier of durability because he has more health. But that defense die is huge.
Yeah,
Like, Lizard is a great comparison because he doesn't have healing factor. He doesn't have the medium base. He doesn't have wall crawler. He doesn't push off his attack. I mean,
well,
you know what I'm
Headbutt
saying?
does.
Headbutt does.
Huh?
Headbutt pushes people.
Oh, sure.
Drax has a
Headbutt.
character to throw, like,
But it's
he
a
uses-
4 dice attack, and you need a wild.
Drax has a size 3, has the
Yeah.
character.
And it's
as
range
well.
2, not range 3 like Lizard.
Yeah. No, there's definitely like the numbers on Drax are just slightly under the curve in today's game. I think.
Yeah.
I think we're all on
Yeah,
that
I
page.
agree.
But he's like really close to just being like a Guardian's Lizard. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Which he can
Yeah.
random-
It's a good
thematically, I don't
comparison,
really
actually.
like
It's
Drax.
really good.
I don't really like Drax there thematically, but I also have a lot of problems with the Guardians in this game on a theme level. So
Yes.
He can also hit like a truck.
yeah,
he can.
randomly just roll a bucket of dice at somebody, but it's hard to get.
Except
Yeah, I mean, he just
every
isn't consistent enough at doing it.
every single time I play against Drax, I move him, and then he moves once and attacks me once. That's,
I mean, okay, look at it this way. I think Drax would actually see play as is if Guardians had a reason to play a scenario game. Like,
May-
If Guardians got like, let's say they got like a different leadership and a fast model, like a long moving 3-threat or 4-threat or something, I could see Drax like being played in that kind of game. Currently, Guardians have no reason to ever do that. So
You know,
maybe he's just waiting on new releases.
if Drax had aggressive, he'd be a terror.
I wonder if like Warpath,
Yeah,
and
Drax would be
Galaxy's
really cool in this
Greatest,
card.
the big dumb hero, and Warpath with Drax.
Oh,
But that's kind of
God.
cool
Yeah, Warpath could be fun for him.
because you go to 4-4-3 with DR on the backside,
Oh,
6
boy.
die slaps. And
Yeah.
that seems kind of fun.
I want to try it now.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe he's just waiting on like a different playstyle for Guardians. Because right now there's really no reason to either not be a gunline or not be the kaiju list.
Right. They're just one dimensional right now. They just want to kill things. That's it.
I mean, he just needs help. He needs something that can help him stay in the fight better.
Yeah.
Whether it's a card, a leadership, a play style, a character that can move things. But, yeah, C tier.
I mean, also like Bill is in his faction, so like he can not play as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
The
a
real
guy with
answer-
aggressive.
Guy was aggressive, yeah. Damage reduction.
The real answer is you use CGR to pull him back into the fight.
Sure.
I actually had Art did that against me at LVO, and it caught me off guard. It was kind of cool.
I love that.
Not
That
even
is
kidding.
really cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So who's
All right.
alphabetically next?
Now do we create another category and put this character under that?
No, he has his own category.
He has his own. Okay.
Category is named after him.
It is named after him. Oh boy. Go ahead,
So
Sploosh.
are you
Take us
talking
away.
about Gambit?
Take it away, Sploosh. Tell us how you really feel. There's a meme after you too.
I'm
This-
honestly burned out from ever talking about Gambit.
I never thought I would ever hear you say that.
He's a character in the shows and comics that is super mobile, agile, and interesting. And in the game, he stands still a lot. His entire play pattern is walk and do something unexciting. For example, why is this bow staff 4 dice?
He's also
then-
like an amazing thief, and he can't steal objectives, isn't fast, and doesn't have stealth.
Nah, he's so good at giving other people stealth, but he forgets sometimes how to give himself stealth.
Yeah.
And I'm referring to a tactics card that they made. And he can't even use the tactics card in X-Men, right? So it's
Stealth
like,
card? No, he can't.
yeah, so he can't even be stealth as an X-Man. It's oh my god, I'm getting ahead of me.
Yeah.
So
And,
I have
I mean-
played Gambit recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dean was playing the Arcade's Revenge list.
So I've played 5-ish games with Gambit,
Mm-hmm.
and he was atrocious.
I watched those
I thought
games because Deaton was like flamboyantly telling me about how he's playing Gambit and he's going to prove the haters wrong, and then I had to watch because I had to see. Maybe I've just been wrong this whole time. But
I did
no.
prove exactly one hater wrong, and that hater was me.
But anyway, his play pattern is absurdly boring. The fact that he doesn't have some kind of like movement off his attacks is weird to me. And the fact that they made him like very, very squishy, but he attacks at range 3 while like Bullseye's a range 4 attacker and he's a 2 threat. It's just very bizarre to me. He's a 5/5 health character with no stealth. He has to get into the fight, and his defense is 3/3/3, which lore-wise he should definitely have 4 Mystic defense, just like Deadpool and the other characters, Widow, all those things, and Zemo. But anyway, yeah. And then the last thing, I'm going to stop with this, is he has this super interesting thing where he can add wilds to his rolls, but then AMG just didn't do anything very interesting with it. I think they could have done like at least double wild triggers where, you roll 1 wild and you're like, sweet, I get to add a wild, but you can think about it, or whatever. You roll no wilds, you can add 1 wild. It even like his whole thing is like playing cards in like poker or whatever. Isn't that kind of cool that like you could get like a good hand, like a flush? It's like, oh, I got the royal flush. I got like all the wilds,
Dude, Let me run this by you. The new card that came out for Gambit with Bishop, the Mutant Trader card.
Yes.
The rules on that card are basically describing what you're saying.
Yeah, somebody thought of this.
Yeah.
And what is that card called?
Mutant Trader.
Mutant Trader. Let me look that up.
Yeah, I gotta look at. Yeah, exactly, because it's got like wild, crit, skull.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah, literally what I'm talking about. It because it's not even that the character's not that good, but he's like boringly designed. Like, I want to do something cool with wilds because you made it so he does cool wild things, and then they didn't like go forward with the idea. And they literally gave double wild to a new tactics card that came with Bishop, and he just move and attack. I'm sorry, it's not an exciting turn.
It isn't. It's not.
Meanwhile, Deadpool's like jumping and stealing people's power, shooting guns.
Hell yeah.
Range 4, weird. So I'm just saying, like, Deadpool's everything I wish Gambit was.
I know.
So
I agree with you. He should get the Bullseye treatment and just get his numbers fixed as a 2 threat. Cool.
Bullseye is hit and
No.
No. I don't want. I don't need that. No.
Bullseye hit and run.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay.
Just kidding. It's okay.
Anyway,
I agree with you. He's bad. And
Yeah,
There's a lot of ways to tune Gambit, but yeah. Gambit has his own tier, boys. He's in the bottom.
It will never
Forget about
leave.
him. He's not an MCP.
Yep.
All right, next up's Ghost Spider. Ghost Spider's awesome. Still awesome. Even though I would say she's come down slightly in the last couple years. I think there's a lot more things that kind of prey on her, like Logan or Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mobility now.
There's a lot of like actionless mobility that kind of get out of, like, Spider Tracker is a problem, and like placing behind models so that they can't get lifesaver. Like, there's counterplay to her, but she still like lives in the upper tiers.
she's just an A tier. Like, she just is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's not much to. I mean, she's so good, dude. I
She just has like turns where she's baby Thanos,
Yeah. I mean,
Just,
her
pull the
full
entire
power
team.
turn is like not a 3 threat turn, right? Like,
it really is.
It's insane. But at the end of the day, she is just, if you look at her wrong, she will evaporate. So
Yeah.
She's a glass cannon if the cannon was control.
Yeah.
Weird. She's a 3 threat with only 5 health and no stealth, and you guys are saying her weakness is dying easily, but she can attack at range 4 and not range 3.
Well, she can't run. She gets double tapped. That's what happens.
But Lifesaver is like the OG gotcha, and so like no matter how much I think I know how to play against Ghost Spider, I'll randomly play against Mike and he'll just say like Lifesaver and I'll feel like the dumbest human being. So like that is like something really great about her. Webline's still insane. What was it, Mike? There was that quote about like how does she pull size infinite and Pagani was like strong webs or something like that.
Yeah, I think Hyper Viper was mad that his Hulk got web lined.
Yeah.
And he's like, how is this a thing? Pagani's like, strong web, shrug.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Speaking
mean,
of, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, the ability to pull size infinite is quite a thing.
Oh, it is. Speaking of Hyper Viper, remember the LVO when I just randomly was there and he was talking or whatever, and he's like, you know how I know a person's a bad player? He goes, when I hear players say that Ghost Spider's bad. The funny thing is, the guy next to him, I think, made a comment about Ghost Spider not being that good in the game.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's an aware moment.
Yeah, I just kept laughing. I was like, "That's hilarious, dude." But yeah, no, that's the kind of character she is, though, man. She'll never, in my opinion, she's one of those characters I don't think will ever be bad. I think she'll just be as good as.
Yeah, she'll live in A tier for
exactly. Yeah,
as long as she stays as she is, probably.
Because I mean, they've released models like more. There are more models than ever that like your Juggernauts, your Ultrons, your these models that can't be yoinked around, and she still is just a premier option. So she's great.
I just want to say real quick, Spider Technique is easily one of the coolest designs they've ever done. I mean, as far as play pattern is concerned, this character is fun to play. Like, and when you do like all webbed up and even just do like a spender or something, it feels so fun.
yeah.
I wish original Core Parker had that rule. It'd be a very fun change for him to be able to run around and.
Yeah, would be.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Gwen's great. She was my favorite character in the game for a long time. So still like her. All right. Groot. Groot's fine. He's good. He can be frustrating to play against. His spender's insane. And he's definitely overstated for his threat.
As long as no matter the cost exists, Groot is like cruelty. He can throw size infinite with his spender and stagger, and sometimes you just don't care if those 8 dice didn't do anything. So yeah, no matter the cost makes Groot really vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, Groot's got good attacks. Rooting people is good. Healing himself is good. His stat line's great. He's slow. He's most effective with Rocket, so it makes him like a 5-threat double, like counts for double when you're splashing, which I think keeps him in faction, which is good. So for that reason, I'm.
He's like the perfect version of that, right? Like everything that Guardians do, and everything that Rocket does synergizes so well with this guy that he's very, very strong there, and he's good outside of that. Like his stuff's fine. But like you don't see him played because he really loves all of those synergies.
Yeah.
He's 14 health with a heal 3 ability. That's also crazy.
That's really insane. He can be very annoying to take down. His pop off turns are an absolute nightmare. Like
also, his backside art.
His spender's very similar. His spender's very similar, like getting Iron Fisted.
Yes, very similar.
It can be pretty frustrating.
It's just Hulk's spender without the wilds.
Right.
Yeah.
And a medium throw instead.
A medium throw. Right. It's so bad.
It's a 1 power more for a better Hulk spender.
Yeah.
It's root for 2 as well. Like,
yes,
that's pretty good.
He's well designed.
Root's gaining a lot of popularity. So
I think Root's a little overrated. Like people talk about Root like it's some kind of silver bullet. I don't agree. I think it's like fine. It's like slightly debilitating, like shock, but I don't think it's like this insane thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had Root do good things for me.
Yeah, it's good.
I hear what you're saying. Like, you can't play Root and then like punch the character a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, that's Groot. B tier. Good mall. Next up's Hawkeye.
Man,
I love Hawkeye's great, man. He's so fun to play.
He's very fun to
Playing
play.
Shield made me appreciate Hawkeye.
I lost to a Hawkeye today. He was very good.
Yeah,
Just to play
people
him.
get down about Hawkeye's like stat line, and
Mhm.
it's honestly probably a little under in today's game. But I mean, he's a freaking like range 8 gun that ignores stealth or cover and line of sight. Like,
Yeah, he snipes pretty well. I remember playing him back in the day when I was doing the whole defenders thing with Strange and all that, and like just sniping people and giving them hex or whatever was really cool. Hook arrow's amazing. Fast draw's fantastic. I mean, he can be easily. You can easily misplay this character too. You know what I mean? Like remembering to do fast draw and like trying to,
yeah,
not get in range and get just one shot or whatever. You have to take your time with this character and like put him in the right spot to succeed. And if you do, he's very, very annoying to deal with.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, his conditions are really damn good. I mean, handing out shock, bleed, slow, poison. I mean, God forbid you haven't slow out. I mean, what if you had like a mark for death kind of turn with Hawkeye, and it's like, okay, cool. You think you're gonna get your rerolls? Nah, bruh. You just go ahead and you snipe Black Cat, or
Yeah,
you
he also just synergizes.
Mm-hmm.
He synergizes really well with Sacrifice.
Yeah.
If you sack into him and they're out of range 3, he can fast draw that model.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Really good
yeah,
stuff.
Hawkeye's dope.
Bleed on the opponent's activation is a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah. So, and shock and slow are my favorites typically, and both can be very debilitating to people.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty decent.
Dean, you have anything on
Nope.
Hawkeye? I'm putting him in B
He's
tier. Yeah,
Yep.
Hawkeye's dope. Heimdall. Man,
Jeez.
Heimdall is kind of a struggle bus. I actually think he's pretty good in Steve 1 because his stuff's probably just overcosted. But he's
But
just
that's
a
like
dude that
that's
stands
a
around.
band-aid, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the new Asgard stuff gives people a reason to play Heimdall, but
Maybe.
like the rules on his card are good.
They
He
are.
just doesn't have a ranged attack to actually like build power to do things, and he's a melee character, so
It's
he's
Heimdall
no
kind
extra
of a
special. I guess he's a teleport.
it's kind of a Clea problem where it's like he doesn't want to go running in and fighting people, and yet both his attacks, his only attacks, are range 2. So, you know, and it's like no action economy. He's definitely no Valkyrie, and I get it that he's kind of like a supporting role, but then his attacks are not supporting role attacks.
Yeah.
Also, isn't his reroll bubble like is it range 3 or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
God, that's not good. Yeah.
If I was like quick like thought on this guy is if they want to make him like this range 2 character, they need to make him more tanky, like kind of a Drax, where like you kind of just shove him in and then you can maybe ignore him and don't give him bodyguard or anything.
Well,
And then, like make it so they don't want to attack him, and then he can kind of like freely punch people with his sword.
so he has access to Thor's leadership and Odin's. I don't think that's a problem. Like if you just double run him up into a team, like it's mostly probably okay. But he just has a hard time doing things, in my experience.
Okay, if he's like really like more tanky, okay, then like all his like card kind of unlocks, because like I love the idea that you can like throw someone into range 2 of him and you can like whack him with his sword. That's like one of the cooler things he can do. And then like re-rolling he rolls objective dice, right?
Yeah, he can
Believe
reroll.
so.
He can
Yeah.
reroll tactics card dice, or is it just
It's
Yeah,
Crisis
tactics
and
card.
Tactics.
okay? So freaking anything, I guess.
Anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a really cool like thing that he can reroll anything. It is weird that All Seeing Eyes has a range 3
Yeah.
band, but
Where he's looking from like the Rainbow Bridge like to another planet, but
Yeah.
apparently that's not range 3.
It's not. I don't know.
No, that's a good call out. That should just be like range infinite and then maybe balanced differently, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just make it range 4 like every other reroll ability in the game. I don't know.
Sure. Maybe 5 to make it cute. Like I think when you're designing a character, you want to make them have this one thing that's super interesting.
Yeah, that
So-
is the Counter-Strike thing that he has.
Well, maybe get rid of that and then change All Seeing Eye to be cooler. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, I don't know. Splitting hairs.
The point is, he doesn't play well on the table, in my opinion, and I have not seen anyone prove me wrong.
Yeah, I've been proven wrong either. I really wanted this character to be more than what I saw a lot of potential in him when I first read him, and since then it's just been whatever.
I mean, you
I've
realize
played
that
him to
this
him
guy,
twice.
he's literally Gambit with one more health. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, cool.
He's
He's got Odin,
3-3
so.
defense with range 2 attacks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Gambit's got different monsters. Whatever.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm fine where he's at, honestly. Just there's definitely better choices. It's just
I don't think Heimdall's great, but he's definitely not in the trash tier.
no, he's not trash at all. Absolutely not.
I think he's one above that. He
Heimdall
can
is
live
a-
with Zola and whatever.
Yeah, he's got a special place in my heart because he was the first episode of the Dangerroom I was ever on. We reviewed Heimdall.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. I
There you
remember
go.
people were hyped for Heimdall, and then everyone was like, "Scourge, no."
We said exactly on the thing. It was he's got a lot of cool stuff individually, and it doesn't look like it's going to come together well. And it turns out, he's got a lot of cool stuff, and it doesn't come together.
That's good. Yep.
yeah. I don't know how he is in D tier for you, Mike, but I'm not gonna.
The
you know.
one time a hot take was right.
Yeah. I actually lost to him once. I get with Magic Nick when he was playing him under Steve Wan.
Oh yeah.
But let me tell you, it had nothing to do with Heimdall.
Look, Steve
Yeah.
Heimdall is actually okay under Steve One.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
I think
Fine.
he's
Because he can teleport round one. Rerolls for one is pretty good. So like, yeah, he's way better there.
Yeah.
Heimdall
Alright.
Steve Thor is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to Hood. I still really like Hood, man. I think he's good.
He's one of my favorite models to ever paint,
B
to ever
tier.
play on the table.
Yeah.
I had him. I remember when I did my reaction when I first saw this character when he first came out. I had him as this character is going to be the best 3-threat in the game. Now, have I been wrong since then? Yes, but like the thing is, like he had a lot of crazy stuff at that time. But the other thing is too, he was so unique. Like his whole transformation thing, and he had like reduced 2 on his other side, and he was just nuts. Like turning into the lizard thing or whatever it was. Like.
Yeah, he's kind of
so-
2 completely different characters.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's hard to gauge, like, because his other side is like bananas town. You know what I'm saying? Like he does a lot of crazy stuff. I honestly like I want to put him A, but I can't because he's just
No, he doesn't go there.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen him on the table in a long time, even though I think he's a little underappreciated.
yeah,
I think Hood's actually kind of tricky to play because a lot of people forget that you can transform on like any damage instance. Like you could take a damage and then transform if you want. Most people just wait until they die to transform, or people just forget that he transforms at all, which is like a rule.
That's the thing that happens. I've seen that happen a lot with a lot of locals that
Yeah.
just don't do it. I'm like, yeah, you can transform.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Like,
Or people like manage his demon form incorrectly, where they charge into the wrong thing, or they like don't charge spender, or they charge spender into the wrong thing, or they transform out. Like I think Hood's just misplayed a lot.
yeah,
He has a high ceiling if you know how the intricacies of what he can do.
yeah, I agree with that 100%.
The biggest
That being
one,
said, he is a little immobile and he can have bad matchups into like what if you're playing against a bunch of robots, right? It's sad.
Yeah,
the biggest mistake people do is you're supposed to transform him when he dazes. People forget that a lot.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Like he
Yeah.
must do that. But you can transform him even if he takes a damage. And sometimes that's the correct move. Because like if someone attacks you, you could transform forward into demon. I take a damage. I now can charge you and get on the objective, right? And I roll 6 dice at you. So,
Yeah. His super invulnerability with the -2 damage is so cool.
Yeah.
Unless they have rapid fire, but otherwise it's very cool.
Yeah, I think Hood's definitely underappreciated.
I do
Yeah.
too as well.
Okay.
Mm,
Iceman. I'll be honest, I haven't played Iceman.
I haven't. I've played against him
have.
once.
I've played him
Let
Alright,
Jacob
Dean.
have this.
Go ahead,
multiple
Dean.
games on the
Iceman,
table.
go.
Iceman's fine. He's pretty squishy, but his little defensive trick is a lot more impactful than it seems, because it makes your opponent really think about when and where and how they are going to rotate, which is strong. So like you play them on like your D maps and stuff, I think. And if your opponent wants to come towards you, great. So I think Iceman is better than I think we would have said. I think better than most people said. I think he's probably edged out of affiliation in most cases. Like, I think you can play Iceman and X-Men, but I don't think he's necessary by any stretch. But I think he's okay. So certainly he's not the, oh my god, this is a horrible character that I think some people were thinking, but he's got some cool stuff. I think Ice Slide, I mean, Airlift is just very good. Hit and Run is good. In combination with the Beam, can start his rotation by slowing people. So, and the Chill attack is strong. So, yeah, I don't think he's anything to be like, oh my god, about, but you could easily C tier. He could even sneak into B if you wanted to.
C sounds appropriate to me.
I got him at C.
Yeah, I think C sounds about right because he does get outpicked by other stuff.
Yeah, I think
Does,
most of the
yeah.
time, yes.
Yeah, he's definitely not trash. Like Cold Snap can randomly troll people on spread out stuff.
Yeah, it does.
So
I think part of the
okay,
problem,
Iron
too, is
Fist.
that
Or
X-Men.
so,
Well, they got some really good 3 threats.
yeah, Kitty is amazing.
Kitty is
So
very
we'll get to
good.
her,
We talked about Domino. X-23 is good. Storm is good.
Beast.
Gambit is
Yep.
good. Beast is good.
He had me in the first half.
you did.
He had me in the first half.
Oh my
So,
god, that's
yeah.
funny.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're all on the same page.
You thought I wasn't listening, but I was.
Oh my god.
Cool.
All right, Iron Fist. I just freaking lost this idiot last weekend. Iron Fist is solid randomly. I think he's really good at like beating up kaiju lists if you can play wide enough.
I think when he's applicable, he's like extremely good.
Yeah.
But he struggles in that his signature thing is done better by Luke. Like the Heroes for Hire card is just like Luke.
Luke.
If that's your thing, Luke does it better. But Iron Fist is good. I think in Midnight Suns especially, being there, bump, extending your mobility with flying kick, just super good. So yeah, I mean, I think he's just solid in his affiliations.
Yeah. I still think my
I
favorite,
agree.
one of my top things I love doing in this game is iron fisting people, especially when they're down on models and that's their last model they have to activate to do anything. I'm like, no, Iron Fist, you're just not going to be able to activate. That's it. We're done. Game over. And I just walk away from the table. But yeah, it's just, Luke's just better. I think he's properly accosted here at B, I think.
Yeah.
Siege of Darkness is fun with him too.
Siege of Darkness, yeah.
Yeah, you can teleport with him.
Yep.
So you can Siege of Darkness before choosing an activation, and then if things go well or whatever, you get a big hit or something, you could maybe activate someone. It's just pretty cool. And then the fact you can reposition off Siege is pretty cool. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, Iron Fist is solid for sure. He's definitely good into tech or into kaiju stuff. Obviously, Heroes for Hire is a great card. But I think I agree with Dean, where Luke, if you're just bringing one for Heroes for Hire, Luke's the guy.
I feel like he's just kind of in Midnight Suns. I feel like Avengers have kind of moved on from him, and Defenders as well. It's just
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
maybe that'll
I'll
change
reserve
eventually.
judgment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Defender stuff coming so.
out.
Well, we don't. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Tactics cards and stuff. I don't know.
All right, Iron Man 1. I love Iron Man 1, man. He's so good. I just don't know if I can justify putting him in A tier.
That's
I can.
Okay.
Actually, I can. Helios,
Well,
man.
Stark Armory.
Stark Armory.
Iron Man-
That's another one.
You guys
So-
are. You guys
He's
with the.
He's
go
a
ahead.
top 4 3 threat in the Avengers, which is great. No, but what he does is pretty unique in that he can be a very good durable point sitter. He can bring a kaiju deleter. He can boost wide attrition. Like this model, Andy has great control. He will do a lot of damage if you're boosting his attacks frequently. This model is insane, and he is very good. He should be in every Avengers list, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got
I agree, yeah.
He has no size limit on his push, which is crazy.
It's
I don't know if
insane.
you said that.
And it's before damage.
Yeah.
I've been playing an Avengers list, and I don't even play Deadpool in it, but I'm playing Iron Man like every game.
Wow.
So I'm not trying to diss on Deadpool. I do think Deadpool's very, very good. I'm just saying that's how good I think Iron Man is.
Yeah. No, I think Iron Man is forever been underrated in how good he is and how dynamic he is, because he doesn't have action economy, right? And he's basically just shooting on his turn. But what those shots do, his defensive durability, assemble,
and his cards,
and his other 2 cards are
The
just
two cards.
nuts.
Yeah, they're insane.
And that's not even considering what is the one with Sam?
Yeah,
Ricochet Blast. Like
Ricochet Blast,
there's a lot of good stuff you can do with this
good.
character. This character's
Damn.
basically a lock for Avengers lists.
No, yeah,
when you get down to it.
he's solid, man. And, dude, he's had that sizeless push since the beginning. I remember reading this card before the updates happened because I didn't put Iron Man on the table at all, and I'm like, this dude has a sizeless push. I was like, what?
Oh
Like,
yeah, dude.
That's insane.
He like trolls Hulk.
Yeah,
It's pretty hilarious.
It's funny. But yeah, that dude's an 8. He's solid, bro. He's just
And
a
when
really
you
good
do
character.
flip him, Unibeam is insane. So
I do want to defend AMG buffing him with the 1 power change.
it was a great buff.
It was a
It
great
is-
buff. Oh.
It is when you think of changing a character in the smallest way possible, but making such a massive difference. I can't Iron Man is the flagship. I always think of Iron Man when I think of making one tiny little change and how much of an impact it can have.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that they did it.
Yeah, Iron Man owns.
I had a Steve 1 local game where I flipped my Iron Man, and I used a 1 cost Stark Armory to Friday AI a Unibeam for a 9-die Beam 5 for 6 power. Turned out pretty good.
Sounds amazing.
Hell
That
yeah.
sounds fantastic.
So
Yeah. Also,
Sick.
don't sleep on a 1 power Friday AI homing rocket. It's like randomly super fun too.
Oh, dude, I've used it to kill Rocket Raccoon multiple times. It's great.
Yeah.
homing rockets in the Dynamo version are like my favorite attacks in the game. They're so fun when they're useful.
Yeah.
And nobody ever sees them coming. They're like,
That's-
oh crap.
Like that attack sucks. Like no, it doesn't.
No, it
Your whole
doesn't.
team just exploded because they're all on 1.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Anyway, we can move
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Kraven. Oh boy. Okay. Want to talk about a glow up for no buffs? Kraven freaking is sweet now because of the foes cards. He's like the god of activating on the surprise webhead turn.
Yep.
Because he just puts dice on people, and then everyone else gets that dice. So, yeah, I love Kraven in foes. I think he's definitely a lock in a foes list. So, he's B tier for me. He kind of just like moves around the table. Surprise webhead has given him the ability to have action economy. You can like walk, dagger something, and then surprise webhead the spear thrust, and you just get everything.
Yep.
Rolls a lot of dice on top of that. So yeah, I think he's good. He also like Corner of the Beast is really good into aggressive, which is very popular on Bill and Rhino.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that superpower was always underrated. Oh,
yeah,
Dog
I think
yeah, I
this
like
is really
Kraven.
cool
I like Kraven a lot right now.
of what you said about a character getting buffed without getting touched. AMG's balanced the release strategy that they've talked about before. Like this is a good example of that. So kudos.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes me
Yeah, I like
happy
Kraven.
because
Those
I
players should be
fell in
playing.
I fell in love with Kraven a lot. Like I don't know, like back when Ebony Maw was like popular.
Space Maw.
And yeah, and I fell in love with this guy because with the X-Men hop and like it goes back to what I said about Ghost Spider. I just love the mechanics behind this. Like, if you did an action, like a movement, you get some kind of reward for it. Even though Kraven's is a little awkward, honestly, but it's still every time I pull it off and get to do like the combo of the strike and the spear thrust, I feel like I don't know, I'm having a good time. So I definitely appreciate the play patterns of Kraven, and it makes me so happy to see him like actually good.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say was like it's really fun when you have all that power and you can corner the beast multiple characters and they're just moving and just slowly like just taking chip damage. Like oh, like another trap, like boom, another damage. Like I haven't tried my new foes though, and I need to. It's just been one of those things that's takes time. But
Yeah, no, he's great. He's great in foes now. I love playing him. I like him more than Shocker. We'll get to Shocker in a bit, but Kraven is like my. Usually in a game, like you're either like attrition focus, like it's basically comes down to like, am I playing Mysterio or not? If not, then I'm playing Kraven. Or like it depends. Like if I can play Mysterio, I'm playing him, and then it's like I'm probably if I'm playing another 3, it's between Kraven or Lizard. Depends on the style of game.
Speaking of Lizard,
yeah. So Lizard's next. Lizard's been
boy.
slashed a lot in everything since he came out. He's just kind of no one else is like him. No one else is as fast and as durable as he is.
yeah, Lizard's an A, right?
Lizard's an S tier model.
Lizard's an A tier model.
Lizard's an A tier model.
No, Lizard's not S tier. He's an A tier model. Yeah.
How dare you,
I think
dude?
he's been there his entire existence.
Mike's literally said he's splashed all the time, and he's one of a kind.
He is an A tier.
He literally read
He's an
his
A tier
Read the
character.
thing.
Okay, all right. He's not S tier like Black Cat. Okay, he's A tier like Lizard. Okay.
I'm not arguing he's one or the other. I'm just asking.
You
Just asking.
I think if we had this conversation like 2 years ago, I think he might be S. I remember Australia was a big fan.
Yeah, I think a
but
couple of years ago. Yeah.
he's dropped off a bit because there's more choices, really.
I don't know, man. He does a lot of things. Him being durable as fast as he is, the push randomly that he can get on the 4 dice, the throw, he randomly has a throw, like exceptional healing. Like it's just, I just think he has all the tools outside of action economy to just be really good always. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he's S? Because he's
No,
A,
hell
which is
no.
a
He's
very
A.
good rating.
No, he's
okay,
A.
then we agree.
Yeah, no,
He's A.
no. I'm just hyping. This is my boy. I love Lizard. He's
Okay.
almost in every list I have. Like every list I make, he's in there. He's awesome.
I'm gonna hot take something is that I don't think a primarily secure model, like a model that can't interact with extracts, and is a scenario model, I don't think they can be S tier.
Okay.
Like when we look at all the S tier, like Lizard, as good as Lizard is, his extract play, which is what the game is mostly about, quite frankly, is to double walk onto an F and stand there and hope not to die. And Marvel Dice will just make that not a good idea.
Yeah, or just grab something on the midline. Like his extract game is grabbing something in round 1. Past that, it's not good.
Yeah. So I think that will forever hold him back from being an S tier model.
Yeah. Zemo and Cat can definitely retrieve stuff while also starting strong. So
cool. Yeah, I'm good.
Lizard is not good at chasing unless like his chase, all it needs to do is like double move throw. So like bully secures, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
if someone like flips Lizard and walks away from him, like his double walk throw turn of like being his crackback is so insanely sad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, Lizard's great, but he's not an S tier model.
Okay. Yeah, Lockjaw.
Doggo, Lockjaw. Man, Lockjaw, I have yet to see him enable anything that isn't jank, like enabling kaijus or something like that. And that was like, that's more of an issue with the kaiju.
Right.
I don't think he's trash. Like he's definitely like has a use and is playable sometimes. Some people are really big Lockjaw fans, but I think Lockjaw is a C tier for me.
I'm down for that.
Like,
I agree. I've actually played a lot of Lockjaw randomly.
Like Heimdall land.
Yeah,
I lost a Lockjaw last
There
night.
you go.
You lost a Lockjaw.
Did you really? Did you really lose that Lockjaw? That's
I
sick.
did.
Oh yeah, Waylon's playing Lockjaw Magneto.
That's funny. God, that was the classic back in the day. You remember that nonsense?
I do. The
No,
Swedes,
yeah.
the Swedes are back. Yeah, it was like Lockjaw, Magneto, Juggernaut, Toad, and Rhino. Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, what happened in that game?
Yeah.
No, I mean it's fine. Like I think what they were doing was good. It works very specifically at point values, and like if that list works, great. But in general, Lockjaw's just not a very good choice.
No.
Lockjaw in like if the stars align, Lockjaw's stats are fine. He has a throw, which is size 3. And of course the stars have to align because it's probably like some kind of like maybe not central, but like map C, and there happens to be terrain that's there, and moving someone on his team is like for some reason relevant, and he can just sit on a point and like bite people and throw things. Like intrusions, I think, is kind of a Lockjaw thing. He's kind of cute and like decent, maybe even slightly above average, and I've done it many times. I used to play Lockjaw with Dormammu randomly, and that was fun. He's got the weird Bloodhound thing too, but it's like so awkward because you often never want to go with Lockjaw first, and yet you are supposed to. So I don't know about that, but
Yeah, that is a good point. There's like some weird anti-synergy there.
yes. But anyway, I agree with what you said originally that everyone claims he's gonna like break the game, and I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But it could happen eventually.
I mean, it's always going to just depend on what's around him, because it's like the Red Skull stuff was broken, and Lockjaw was a big part of that. But the Red Skull Malekith, but it was a result of Malekith being broken. Not
It was a
Lockjaw.
Malekith problem.
It was a Malekith
not a
problem.
Lockjaw
Yeah.
problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So cool. Let's move on.
All right, Luke is next.
Oh my boy.
Luke is straight in A tier, man.
Yeah,
Luke is
A tier.
great.
Yep.
Can I make an argument for S tier?
No.
Can I make an argument, brother? Listen, he saves lives. Heroes for Hire's cracked under him. In Conan, I forgot that he slowed and stunned Thanos with the spender. He moved medium right after, and that was my fault. But he did that. He almost won me that game just by living on 1 and just not dying. I don't know, bro. Like his impact on a game.
Luke is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
his attacks are good. His bodyguard is good. His durability is like top of the level for 3 threats, and his card is insane. But he is not that great into scenario teams.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
That is
actually
his biggest
gonna.
downfall.
I'm joining Chewy on this. I think he's S tier. So hear me out. Zemo is S tier because Zemo's the best at what he does, and Black Cat's the best at what she does. And dude, no one is better than Luke at what Luke
No one
does.
is.
And he has the crazy tactics card, dude. And every time Sooner's telling me a story about what he's playing against, and then he says, "I'm playing X-Force." Oh, and I played Luke Cage. I instantly know he won.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
because I know why he's playing Luke Cage is because his opponent's trying to kill him. And guess what? Luke
Correct.
Cage says, "Hell no. No one's dying here." And it works.
It does, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I played a lot of Luke Cage and
Every
X-Force.
time.
And the
Every
reason
single
why
time.
I lost to Deaton is because I didn't play Luke Cage properly. I didn't bodyguard, and that's my fault.
You lost
So-
because I'm an incredible player.
You
and
are
had no chance.
you are an incredible.
That's-
I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, if I bodyguarded the one attack, I think it's a totally different. Either way.
I told you that, so you're right. Like, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Dean, where's Luke live? S or A tier?
Luke's an A tier model.
Oh.
Okay,
Get
thank you.
outta
I'm not
here.
taking crazy pills.
All right, Web
No,
Warrior
I think
players.
you guys. I don't know, brother.
The problem with Luke is that he is a meta. I mean, I think like Mike said, he's a meta dependent character. He is extremely. We're not in a killy meta.
But
He's-
that doesn't.
I don't think that.
It's literally the same thing we said with Sam, which I guess we made Sam A, but we also said like asterisk, like if the meta turns killy, like Sam's an S again.
I think
Luke
he
is
lives on
very
the line.
similar, but like we literally have people like Sooner just rocking Luke Cage and X-Force and crushing people.
When is the last time Sooner played Luke Cage in X-Force?
He did at squad goals.
He
Did he,
did.
how many? Did he
Oh,
put him
did
on the
they
table?
win Scrod goals? Did he go 5-0?
Did he actually put him on the
What?
table?
He did go
With-
5-0.
Yeah,
he
he
went
played
5-0 with
He
an
played him against
affiliation
Aaron
that went
Frank when
negative.
playing Guardians.
So
He
he
played
played
him
him
against Guardians.
in one game against the killiest team in the game, in the meta. And he didn't play him elsewhere. So I will say that, yeah, I was wrong about when did he play him, but it's not like he's tearing up the world.
No, I
So,
agree.
no,
That I agree
no,
with,
that's the
yeah.
thing. That's the thing about Luke Cage. He's the character where he's like a sideboard, where like, oh, they're trying to kill me. Well, that's not happening. But not everybody's trying to kill everybody, you know. So you play him when he's good, and you don't when he's not.
Yeah,
But
and
there's
I
no
just- I don't
character
wanna
in the
dedicate
game.
the slot to that.
There's no character in the game better than Luke Cage at what he does.
I don't think I agree with that.
Does
Actually.
a solid. Iron Fist does a solid job. I think Okoye does a solid job.
Excuse me, Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, it's good.
It's real good. And it's real good.
It is really
But like
good.
I said, like
Yeah.
Luke is randomly like has bad matchups. Like if I'm bringing Luke into like Hellfire or Webs, like he's not really
Yeah.
that great.
I agree, but S tier isn't about play him
But
everything.
Cat and Zemo are good into everything.
No, see the problem I have with Luke Cage is that this is the problem with Luke Cage is people tell me, oh, he's not that good because they try to play him like every game. That's a mistake. But when he is good, he's insane. He exists so that your characters don't die. If your opponent's not trying to kill you, then it's not good. And honestly, the thing too is he's an efficient mini. He's cheap. He's 3-threat. And if someone's going tall on you, he actually gives you some agency.
That's 6 health.
He gives you agency because generally a tall list will kill you and hold prio and make your life miserable. Luke Cage says, no, you don't get to kill that guy.
He gets to reposition, he gets to throw, and all that. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna.
He has
for
a
me,
throw.
like,
Look, I love
Yeah.
Luke, man, but I gotta keep him in A.
all right.
All right, well,
I think-
I mean,
I'm in
I
the
don't
S tier
know.
bandwagon here because I love my boy. I'm gonna be honest about it.
Luke Cage won me a tournament. Luke Cage won Dean a tournament, but apparently Dean doesn't show any respect. No respect for Luke Cage.
No respect for Luke.
No respect.
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, you when I say no one beats what he does, I mean you guys give me a few examples, but they're not as good. It is true that if they're not trying to kill you, he's the wrong choice. I can't tell you how many times I've played attrition, or like I played Hellfire Club, I played Syndicate, and my opponents play Luke Cage into me, and I'm laughing. I'm like, "What are you doing? That's not the game we're playing."
That's funny.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
But I don't know, man. Like Zemo and Cat are good into everything. Like if your plan is to kill somebody or to play a scenario, like they're good into everything because they have tools. Zemo's amazing at chasing and grabbing things, and Cat's amazing at helping you not die through staggers and herself. So like,
yeah, they're
think that's what
absurdly
the difference
flexible.
maker.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, man. Okay, you know what? You're right. Zemo and Cat are stupid. Yeah.
Yes.
And when you put it that way,
I feel like he's. I really do feel like
Okay.
Luke is like borderline. Like, but
Luke
either way,
and-
Luke owns,
and-
dude. I like he's
Yeah.
look at his peers. Like his peers are great here.
Yeah.
Like,
No, no,
I
no.
love
yeah,
all these minis.
no, yeah.
Just put Luke with Sam, and when the game turns killy, they'll both just take over the game.
It'll be S tier again.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Next up, we got Magik. So
I don't know.
okay,
Bro.
Sploosh hates Magik. So here's the thing, Magik. I'm gonna put Magik in B tier, and the reason for that is because Xavier's Dream actually makes a legitimate use out of her.
Okay.
So, well, Convocation's kind of a hot mess. I think she's just their best 3-threat of all, like just mediocre to bad 3-threats. But I mean, there isn't really like until Chosen of Bast comes out, there isn't really like a 3-threat Mystic 5 dicer model. And I think Xavier's Dream does a pretty decent job of letting Magik in an activation when she would otherwise be dead. And she can randomly be really useful into like matchups like Webs. So I think she has a niche use and lives in B tier for me. Her card is randomly pretty good as well.
Oh my god. You know, honestly, the only reason she's not C is because C is edging people out, and like she's playable because like no one's capable of edging her out, but not because she's good. It's just like Convocation just needs better characters, and she won't see play ever again. And I agree with the Professor X thing, but again, like any like decent character will just eventually replace her.
That could
think-
very well be, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Dream buffs her more than a lot of people
Oh my god.
Yeah, I agree.
and makes her a perfectly.
I've
decent
played
choice.
against it like twice. I like kill Magik. They dream to keep her alive, and then she kills 2 of my models. Like it's happened to me twice now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I had people dream when I'm killing their miles. Like you could dream all the dreams.
But
You
I
know,
do
but-
think the fact that she's affiliated.
It's about the timing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the timing. Yeah.
Her being affiliated in the Dream affiliation, I think makes it a reasonable thing to say that that's a buff for her enough to make her a good choice there.
All right. Let me say it like this. I praised Iron Man because they literally changed one number. I feel like Magik just needs like a little touching. Like I'd like to see her like immune to like Incinerate or something because she goes to Limbo, and maybe like some tiny tweak here and there on her. I'm not gonna get into what, but she's just like
I think we talked about
slightly
this.
not good enough.
Incinerate immunity and put a wild hex on her gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think she
she's
needs something
super
like
fun.
that. She needs something like that. And honestly, like maybe limbo stuff. Maybe you know what? That's it. Actually, there's nothing more I would.
Yeah,
change
limbo
about
stuff's
character.
fine.
Limbo stuff.
Yeah,
I was
we
gonna say make it range 4 or something, but there's no need for that.
Because then she has like cool niche cases on demons and into like other Incinerate
Right.
teams and stuff like that.
I'm
So, like,
surprised she
and it
didn't.
makes thematic sense. Like
Yeah.
Journey Through Limbo literally incinerates the model. Why isn't she immune to incinerate?
Why didn't she
I don't
immune
know.
center? I don't know. That's
Yeah.
a miss, I guess.
And her play pattern is kind of cool, I guess. Like the portaling in and like it's just she's not that bad. I just get frustrated when there's so much potential and her card is so empty. It's just like
Yeah,
I don't know.
she could definitely get like a couple cute things that would spice it up.
I'll spice up a little bit.
Exactly.
Mhm.
She's like barely serviceable.
I'm
And I
just
think
gonna say,
I think
yeah.
I would have easily dumped her in C tier if Dream didn't exist.
Yeah, like I feel like I want her in C, but like I have to admit that she's being played, even though I feel like the people playing her are doing it because they have no choice. There's just nothing better. But it's not because she's good. It's just there's nothing better.
Yeah,
so-
she has like her builder is good. Like that's just a fact. Like her attacks are good.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, so you're playing her for that, and the teleport's good. Like it's just her stat line and the lack of anything else. So,
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
played her too. She has this like kind of cool, like if you can like keep her alive for a couple turns and then get a little crazy, by the end of the game it's a little like too late for them to like go after her too hard, and she kind of lives through the game. So she's actually
Yeah.
a decent finishing character because she's so mobile at the late game. She can like chase things down, get an extract, and win you the game. So
also, she has a little bit stocks up because she's amazing at enabling Professor X.
Yeah.
Yep.
sure.
She's like the cheapest vehicle to do that.
I don't think you should be questioning Magic's inclusion in an X-Men roster right now,
Yeah, agreed.
which
All
is
right.
solidly B tier for me.
Okay.
Solid B, no, but B, sure.
I don't have much. I've only seen games with Magik. I haven't played her much myself, honestly. 'Cause, I don't play X-Men much. So, I mean, the games I've seen her in. I mean, the Professor X thing I think is really unique and really cool. Professor X in general, I've been very very impressed with that lately. So, but either way, like I've seen it. I played it. I think I played against Jimmy, and he did the whole Xavier's Dream thing with Magik, and I thought at the time that was not a great play. Because I'm like, why are you doing it? Why not save it for other models? But then she just, like you said, Mike, she just came around and just turned around and just dropped carrot. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
I
her
was
spinner's
like,
good.
I guess so.
Spinner's
Yeah,
good.
I guess so. But yeah, no, yeah, I like where she's
Cool.
at.
All right, we should move
All
on.
Next up is Moon Knight. Deaton was actually just playing some Moon Knight today.
Moon Knight's so great. Moon Knight's dope. One of the very few models that can shoot out of stealth.
Yes,
So
that's
Yep.
huge.
I do think Moon Knight is like a B tier model for me. You shouldn't really splash
Yeah.
Moon Knight. Like he doesn't do anything crazy like that. There are like Deadpool's a version of him that's probably just better. But in Web Warriors, which is where I play him, some really cool synergies there. I do think he's probably the first thing that would get edged out because the other 3 threats in Web Warriors are so freaking good. But I think the new Mass Menace card is a huge buff for Moon Knight. And his output is very very high
Mhm.
when you sort of get him to those power break points, and like you can do a lot of things because of the dynamicism of his crazy dice. So like he's a super fun model to put on the table, and I will always have a fondness for Moon Knight from the All You Got Siege of Darkness days when he could one round a She-Hulk.
Oh man. Oh man.
I mean, yeah, Moon Knight's good. I mean, the Mass Menace is pretty sick, right? He can just like immediately go to 10 power on a turn.
Yeah,
So,
and he's really good at paying for it because he like
Yeah.
doesn't need his power to kickstart his turn the way everyone else does. So that's actually what got me to put him back in the roster. Was like, oh, I think this is really good, and it has been. He like top of 2, he's just throwing a camera down and not taking power off of the other 3 threats is really, really strong. So
yeah, I dig it. There's a lot of Sun stuff in the pipe on the way that maybe he has some synergies with, so that's exciting.
yeah,
But
yeah, I
he's
think
solid right now.
he's just waiting for the good stuff because it's like he loves Siege of Darkness because of his attacks, but he doesn't have any, sometimes his rapid fires just whiff, and that feels real
Yeah.
bad. So
Yeah.
B tier.
Man,
Cool.
nothing to say about him. Yeah.
All right, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. I've always liked Kamala. She is slightly awkward. I think she's B tier for me. She's definitely like played in her factions. I think she's really great in Inhumans. I think she's like just awkward enough that she doesn't get splashed. But like, her attacks are good. Transform gets her around, and she got a good throw. She's got a good stat line.
If it wasn't for Inhuman, she'd be C tier, but I think she's so good there that she just makes those rosters, right? Like she's very good in Inhuman.
I think she's decent in Steve 1. She's probably a little underappreciated there.
I could see that.
But yeah, she just makes great use out of Black Bolt. So
Yeah.
She's
like her.
cool. She's cool with Smash too.
Yeah. Randomly enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, maybe she even has a home in Web Warriors with Mass Menace now.
Yeah, she could.
Like,
yeah.
Like she loves the unlocked skulls with Miles. So
She
like,
really
yeah, if you
does.
could just get in big and going, could be good.
Yeah, it's got some weird tempo issues, but if you're playing like Wong, then maybe yeah, I could buy it. If you
Well, because like, look, the
Don't pick
Mass
something
Menace
up
gives
on-
you power on superpower damage, so you could like be on 3 power or 4 power maybe. Use the throw to like build 2 power, right?
hopefully
Or
that's
like
the way it works.
it's cost
but-
1 to throw, I guess.
Mhm.
If they like,
Yeah.
don't brace or something, yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
transform.
what you'd want to do is like not pick something up with her, try and get the 1 power shot off turn 1, and then
Yeah,
embiggen top of 2 after someone else has played.
yeah, exactly.
Embiggen like onto a secure after someone's played the menace, and then you're like, all of a sudden your attacks have gained like the embiggen plus the attacks just give you a bunch of power extra. Maybe I don't know. It's a little weird, but maybe you could even just like turn into a control model on that turn, and then you embiggen turn 3, because you can safely throw turn 2. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably put it on the table because that sounds interesting. So
Yeah, just unlock skulls is cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, so yeah, maybe she's got some play there. But yeah, I like Kamala. I think her best one's in Humans though. So
Yeah, not much, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God.
All right, my love and joy.
Oh man.
Fishbowl, baby.
Here we go. Let's talk about this guy. Let's do it.
Who now? What are we talking about? Who's
We're talking
Fishbowl?
about Mysterio.
Mysterio, baby.
Mysterio.
Here we go.
I love Mysterio so much, man. I've been playing him so much. I don't even think I've lost a game with him. He rocks.
I think just the
Grand Illusion is an
yeah.
insane card. So I think Mysterio is a little tricky to play.
Mhm.
He kind of forces you to jam him into their team and kind of trust that he is going to be annoying enough to deal with. And if you produce enough threats around him, it's hard for them to justify going into him. So, and you can always use Grand Illusion to try to stay alive if like they're going to come at you, or you just want to have the biggest effect with it. Like get as many models as you can inside of it. And also, Mysterio's really good at just grabbing crap on the midline. Like, what's Mystique going to do? Come and deception me? Sure.
You move short.
I move short.
You move short. Yeah, it's not worth it at all. At all.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, so okay, Mystique walks up, deceptions me. Let's say she shoots me. She can't pay for my defense reduction. She has no power.
Mhm.
And then I can roll a blank. I have Ock leadership, whatever. Let's say the math says I don't die to a Mystique activation. And then
Mhm.
anyone walks up to me, I tricks them, and math says I walk away from them.
Walk away
So
from them, yeah.
it's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think it's. I mean, we talked about it earlier, right? Like, I just think the game is finally because I mean, he always had a good toolkit. I mean, I've always liked this toolkit. It was just the state of the game where it was at. It just didn't make sense to play him at all. And we always talked about his walk distance being short, being an issue on a small base. I'm still of the belief he probably should have been on a big base, but it is what it is. You can't do anything about that. But the game is top of that. With Spider Foes getting new cards. Doing custom upgrades on him is actually hilarious because they still have to pay to lower his defense dice. So, yeah, if they pay to lower his defense dice, he's rolling 0. But if they don't have power and they're power starved, he just rolls
No,
extra dice.
he's always min 1.
He's always
you never not roll.
Oh,
defense
got it.
dice,
Got it. Sorry about
unless
that.
Unless it's something like execute or something. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, never mind. Well, either way, but it's really hilarious on him. Not that that's the optimal play to do, but I did that and I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, he makes amazing use out of the new foes cards, like you said, and he also makes amazing use out of Red Skull 3's leadership, both for his factions. So like the new stuff has made Mysterio really compelling. I think he's awesome, and man, and also Electro having also another source of trap damage and faction that's reliable, makes it so that you can just push a lot of trap damage through that people start to get pretty nervous about dying.
Out of activation, Mysterio attacks are obnoxious.
Very obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and so I think before I've been on my foes kick, I would have said something like Mysterio should have been on medium base or he should have been medium move or something. I actually disagree with that now. I think if Mysterio was any faster, fast enough to the point where he could walk and then attack something on the midline, I think he would just be insane. The walk attack, do a damage, roll a blank, bow them into tricksing them into walking on the objective, and then having Grand Illusion in your back pocket is just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it's really strong.
He currently can't do that unless your opponent walks into your team.
Right.
So the one thing it is frustrating having to min max super hard for him to get to the midline. I wish it wasn't so stressful, but after that, it's fine.
The terrain can make you so nervous.
Terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to add that I really like that he has Mystic Defense from dodge rolls.
Yes.
I wish AMG would get more creative with changing how dice work with certain kind of rolls like dodge. But
I love that Nightcrawler, for example, can add dice on dodge. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I think that you're right that Mysterio, without being changed at all, the AMG's done a decent job of making him better, which is really cool. It's similar to Kraven, really what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, in the Cabal list, I love running him over Mystique, on any kind of secure that's good for him. Intrusions, demons, whatever.
Yeah. And his tactics card was always really sweet. It's just you couldn't play him. Oh, just remembered one last thing. I wanted to say that pay to flips are kind of not popular right now. And that's helping too.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys remember there was a year where maybe 2 where it just felt like everybody's playing pay to flips.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Also, another thing is he just has really cool synergy with Red Skull 3 outside of leadership. I've had Red Skull scalpel him into their team and then play Grand Illusion and then Dark Reign and then just kill things.
Oh my god, that sounds fun.
So you could just do this from range 4 and it just wombos people and it gets really crazy.
I checked really quickly just because I was interested, and if he was on a medium base, he could not walk and attack R3.
Okay, so that's really the real answer. Is he should be on a medium base, but that ship has sailed.
I was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We all agree then. Should have been on a medium base.
Medium base.
But I think at this point, if they gave a medium move, it would be pretty nutty.
And I want to remind people, Mysterio is in fact in Cabal because I remember I don't know if it was Mike.
No, don't tell people. I love having people know.
People forget this.
People forget about that because they haven't played the model, right? They haven't really sat down and and it deservedly so, right? It
Well,
was,
honestly, him being in Cabal is kind of weird, but
it is really weird. It doesn't make sense
really weird
to me. Whatever.
Yeah, Mysterio is a dude that's all about petty crime. He's not somebody that wants to take over the world. So I don't know why he's in Cabal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He just hates Spider-Man a lot.
So Mysterio is a B.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a
yeah.
solid
I think Mysterio is perfectly solid B. Like I love playing him in faction. I don't think I would play him outside.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, Mystique.
Ooh, the Bay.
So here's the thing. Mystique's obviously great. Shapeshifter randomly just silver bullets people.
Yep.
Deception's restricted
B-tier.
now.
B tier character with an S tier card.
Yeah, I'm with Dean. That's where I was kind of going with this. Like, I think Mystique is really good. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She's not great all the time. Like, if you just ignore that Deception's a thing, yeah, I think she's very much a B tier. Like, she's randomly really good. She randomly explodes. She like randomly can't do anything. Like, it's very. She's good though. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's in the A tier with like Luke and Gwen and that sort of thing.
The issue I have with that is that because Deception is tied to her, and because leadership's really good too, I would have to put her A because
Leadership's fine.
No, it's good. Hell, it's really. I mean, I'm not saying it's like one of the best of the game, but it's really good. I mean, dropping a token on a secure and just scoring points the entire time, and then I get to play first class the entire round one. Like that's insane. It's really good. But she's tied to Deception. That's why I would have to put her. And honestly, I'm just being honest. I would have to put her A because of that. Because of that damn card.
I also think
Deception
Deception is less good into people that just play around it. Like every list can play around it. It's a little unintuitive. Because you can do things like walk a model up, don't pick up anything.
Right.
And deceptioning that model becomes extremely unattractive. And now you've created like an anchor point to knock your other model's deception.
Right.
People don't typically do this. But if you run into somebody who does do this, deception is like fine. But it is always frustrating to play against. Like, I get it.
Always frustrating to play against. And the thing is, the later the game gets, the more fatigue kicks in, the more you forget. Perfect example. I was playing a game against Deaton. The one thing he forgot was deception. Because I was able to move up because he did an Avengers Assemble and forgot to put Sam within 2 of someone else. And I said, okay, cool. Double move, deception, Sam off a point. And I was able to score the secure there or whatever. That card just, it's always, you always got to clench the cheeks for that card. It's too damn good.
It requires a lot of mental load on your opponent to play around.
Yes, a ton.
And it can randomly just gotcha. So like I get it.
But as
I
a
think
character,
Mystique on her own, she's a B tier model.
Correct. She's a B on her own, 100%. But it's just it's hard for me. Like it's like I have to because of the damn card. It's just it's so good.
I think years back she probably would be A for sure because it was
unrestricted deception. I think is an A tier Mystique for sure.
Yeah, it's the difference is I think the restriction has forced people to not splash her as much
lately,
and I think that's the big difference, right?
Yeah,
so she's kind of like stuck in affiliation now, and
with Red Skull,
which is fine.
Popping crits.
Like I said, like I prefer to play Mysterio over her when the secure makes sense.
Yeah. She's not, but if I am bringing deception, I'm gonna feel like inclined to like play it a lot more, which is interesting.
Yeah,
but it's maybe not correct.
I've had deception in my Thanos list, and I freaking haven't played it in like over 10 or 15 games. I don't even miss it. I'm literally playing a restricted card down. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trust your opinion on this. That it's just things have changed. Times have changed.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of games where Mystique makes a gunshot and like whiffs rapid fire, and then it's like, oh man. It's real bad.
Yeah.
Unless you pop crits with Red Skull, and it's like, oh.
Well, yeah, I mean that's good.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
she's just really spiky, man.
100%. Yeah. She's not. Yeah.
I will say though, Shapeshifter is very tempting. When it was like that is randomly just absurdity.
Oh, it's insane into like killing exceptional healing models or Ultron or something like that. Like I love her for that.
Or using
stopping bodyguards, tactics cards. I mean,
yeah.
List goes on and on.
She's extremely annoying into Web Warriors.
Yes.
Yes, she is. I love it.
So yeah, that's I gotta say A B mix, but I think maybe I'll go with your B. I'm gonna trust you on this.
Yeah.
We've played a lot of Cabal, so
Yeah.
I've also played a lot of Brotherhood, but yeah.
yeah.
So I've played a lot of Mystique, but yeah. All right, Commandos. Like I've played a lot of Shield too. So Commandos. Okay, so a lot of people are going to say Commandos are an A tier model. Don't get me wrong. I like the Commandos. I
Okay.
think they're really good. I've played Commandos in the Shield list that like Vince popularized. They're like one of your best models. But like I've also played them outside of that and in different factions, and they feel like they don't do enough. I've really felt like the Shield list, you had so much firepower with like 6 wide that you could, like their lack of output was enough to like basically be a Royal Decree model. Yeah, they randomly like one shot people, and like stacking got your backs is really cool. But like Bucky was always the got your back that you would fire first because you cared about his power less. So I like Commandos. I think they're good. If your opponent walks into them and they shoot you, and then they can Royal Decree something up, it's pretty good. I don't think it's like that much more insane than Lockjaw, but like I think they're just like a better Lockjaw. Like I think the Commandos are a B tier model for me. Is what I'm getting at.
Slap them in B and let's move on.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't have much of an opinion. I just think they're B. If that's what you think, I barely played them. I played against them. I didn't think they were special.
I played
I
against
think
them
the
a
got your
bunch.
back.
The got your back's cool.
Got your back loses a lot of value when you don't have 2 of them, and I don't think Bucky 1 is like amazing now. So,
I also remember at WTC Sooners one regret in his roster with Inhumans was even putting Commandos in the roster.
Yeah.
So that sticks with me, and I played against Commandos a bunch, and I remember my opponents were not thrilled with their choice by the end of the game. Not that I like did anything special. It's just they just were like not rolling well, not really doing anything super crazy, and the game just slips away.
No, I like the Commandos. I think they're great, but I don't think they're not any kind of like, oh my god, this model's insane. Like definitely not like Luke or something like that. So
Yeah.
All right, Proxima. Proxima's seen a little bit of resurgence. Johnny's been playing her a bunch.
Yeah.
I like Johnny's reasoning for playing her in webs. I played her in webs at LVO a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, okay, let's just say for sure she's B. Solid in faction is like 100% true.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's debate between B or A for Proxima.
Yeah.
I put her in B, honestly.
I think she's like a very strong B, arguably A. But unaffiliated, the problem is that there's just so many choices,
Yeah.
And she doesn't have displacement, which is like the one thing that, and she doesn't throw like anything, She's just very solid as a character, so that just feels very B to me.
Yeah, I agree. I can't see putting her over like a Kraven or an Iron Fist or a Moon Knight or Mysterio or whatever. So like,
yeah,
I think B's.
But I like her. I think she's good.
She's very. She's
probably a little underappreciated.
Yeah.
I think Lizard edges her out for me just because Lizard has random like weird synergies, like picking up paranoias and not taking damage. I love that about him. So,
I mean, martial prowess is one of the worst abilities in the game, and wife of
in terms
Corvus,
of defensive tech, yeah.
Yeah, and wife of Corvus is just generally dead. If you're, obviously she could play with Corvus, but we're not talking about that much. So that basically means that ability doesn't exist. And that just, Indestructible is, one of the best abilities in the game. But yeah, like at the end of the day, her card is basically attacks and like invulnerability, and that's like
and she's long move.
She's a long mover.
Move is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, she just feels very B to me.
Yeah, I don't love Quantum Starburst, like her spender. I think it's very mediocre. Like 4 power for 6 dice.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not that great.
6 dice. I can't tell you how many times I get excited, then I don't even get anything for it.
Yeah,
because it has to deal damage.
It does.
And
that's the problem.
Yeah, the best things on Proxima's card are her builder, her gun, or her teleport gun, invuln, and long move.
Yeah, 100%.
But she's a good model. We like Proxima.
I like her. Oh, I love her.
All right, Punisher.
Oh,
I like Punisher. I was pretty neutral on him. I think he's good. I played him at Adepticon. Like I played him in Timelines a bunch. I definitely learned to like Punisher. I think he's a model that's a little bit outclassed by models that probably should be reined in slightly. I don't know. Punisher definitely is like BC for me.
I think he's
He randomly has good games. He randomly has awful games. So I don't know.
the only reason why I want to put him in B is because he finally got a home, and the entire time he didn't have a home. So it was just, why would you take this guy as a unaffiliated model, right, or whatever? I mean, I mean, he has a lot of. I mean, he has an automatic rapid fire that gains him power. This Tactics card is crazy with gaining a VP for getting KOs and stuff like that. Got a range 5 spender, which is pretty cool.
He's very similar to Deadpool in a lot of ways.
Very similar. He's got the push thing. I mean, I'm sorry, not the push thing. He advanced himself small randomly. Like
yeah, it's like the same as Deadpool's. Like
yeah, absolutely.
He also synergizes with grunts.
Yeah.
Yes, with that too. And it's like I wonder if defenders listening to take a second look at him, especially with the tactics cards that are coming out, and look at him again and be like, maybe there's something here with him. I don't know.
I like Punisher. I think I probably put him in B tier. Like I like him more than the models we have in C tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree. I've seen Sooner play him, like, for example, in X-Force, but also at the same time, it's like, well, if you have to choose between him and Zemo, you probably just take Zemo. But if you can take both, you can take both, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Punisher's definitely like a third to fourth choice for a lot of lists. And I think that if he like got a card or I don't know, like something around him could change and he would be an attractive model. Like
yeah, he's kind of
got
like
put in Midnight Suns, you know, like I don't know.
Right. He's kind of like we were talking about. Mysterio and Kraven got their kind of blow up with like new cards, and he's waiting for that himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Daredevil's leadership isn't amazing for Punisher. So
you know, I always wished that he was in Midnight Suns. That alone would be crazy. Can you imagine him in Midnight Suns?
I would love him in Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I like Punisher generally. I think he's better than I was expecting him to be when I started playing him a bunch.
Yep.
Okay, Pyro. All right, Pyro is an A tier, despite I get frustrated with him sometimes. Can't deny the man.
He's an A, but not an S, which is
He's an A tier. Yeah, I can't disagree. I don't disagree.
You were a Pyro hater for a while, and I'm sure
I still am kind of a Pyro hater, but I can't deny his synergies with Red Skull. That's really the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, Firewall is nutty too, man. Firewall is gross.
It's so. Pyro's not in Cabal, so what are you talking about exactly?
So Red Skull's card where you can AoE incinerate things, cause of obliteration. So that card and Pyrotechnics are like all out of activation, and Red Skull can scalpel Pyro round. So you can like spend Mystique's power to pay 1 to scalpel Pyro, and then you play Cosmic Obliteration, incinerate like 5 models, and then Pyrotechnics everything, and like everything's on the ground. Everyone's pushed away and on fire. Like
it's really crazy.
Dumb.
Yeah.
All right, you convinced me. A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's A. There's no disagreeing for me. He's good. Yeah.
I do think he is fine in Brotherhood. I think Red Skull pushes him over the edge for me. I always felt like Firewall was a little overrated into like the things where people were like, just Firewall it.
Yeah.
Like Malekith, Thanos. Like I don't think that is like a foolproof answer to them. Like old Malekith. Old Malekith just plays Bifrost and laughs at you. So like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, wasn't oh my god, Leaf played Pyro and used Firewall on Thanos.
Yeah,
in the
Pat
finals.
played with a Firewall Thanos the entire game. And
it game.
Yeah.
Pat won.
And laughed the entire time.
I remember talking to Pat at Adepticon the year that he was there, and he was like, I'm normally like, he's like, people like to Firewall my Thanos, but the reality is it doesn't matter. That's like basically
he told me that as well. When I played him, he told me that exact same thing too, and I was like, damn.
He's inevitable.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Pyro's fine.
You know, Pyro's really good. He's definitely an A tier for me. even though I do get frustrated with him sometimes. Okay, Quicksilver. I think Quicksilver goes in B for me. I like him a lot in Steve 1. I like him with Black Bolt.
His tactics card is sometimes really good, and sometimes you feel silly when you put it in 5.
Yeah, it can create some,
tension.
misplays too. And people forget that he doesn't do certain things. He's a B tier. He moves long. You give him power, bro. He can get all over the place. Like he's solid. It has defensive rerolls too for tech too. So
yeah, so Pyro has some really cool interactions with Black Bolt in that you can give him 2 power on round turn 1 and 2, and you can have him go grab like a far spider, far cube safely, which is pretty sweet. Also in Inhumans and in Steve 1, he can just pay 1 to long move and start attacking the midline. And if it's an asset, you can yoink it off people.
Yep.
So those are the cool things about Quicksilver.
Yeah, I'd like to see him rebalanced around the fact that Blind Obsession and Doom Prophecy don't exist anymore, because he definitely was designed around those cards. But that being said, until Bast comes out, I'd be playing Quicksilver probably in Avengers.
I feel like he has a 4-dice builder because of the triggers they put on his attack.
yeah.
No, they definitely designed him around those cards. I mean, you can't change my mind on that.
Okay.
Dude, people were going infinite with his attacks, and those cards existed.
No,
And you added in that's not even not no matter the cost. What was the other one? All you've got, or no? All is it all you got?
Yes.
Right, you get an extra activation. Like, come on, man! Like, people were rolling out dumb amounts of dice with this character, and it was all casino. But sometimes you hit jackpot. So anyway, those cards don't exist anymore, and so he's just a dude who punches like 4 dice, and he's got the weirdest triggers. Like, his triggers are like a little aggressive for someone that's rolling 4 dice.
Yeah, if I was going to buff Quicksilver, I would just make it so his card can grab civilians. I think, because right now I think he really shines when the card is relevant, and otherwise he's probably better picks.
Agreed.
Sure. I mean,
he
they
can randomly be useful in Inhumans with Eyes on the Prize, but that's a different thing.
His dash shouldn't require 2 symbols on 4 dice. Like, it's aggressive.
It's splitting hairs, in my opinion.
Yeah. Anyway, I think he's solid. He's not like the most exciting character to play, but he does what he does.
Dean, you have anything about Quicksilver before we move on?
Fix his card and call it.
That's where I'm
also, it'd stop a lot of feels bads, man. There's a lot of people that are like, they bring that card and they either forget the extract civilian or something, and then somebody has to look like the bad guy when it's like, oh, you can't play that, and they're like, well, what the heck,
Exactly.
It only fixes things for everyone from the most competitive player to the most casual player. It stops.
Yeah.
You have to be tuned in to know the difference and pay attention.
Correct.
It makes him better for the people that already know.
Hold on. I'm going to say, too, that when I'm playing Quicksilver, which I have lately, I get mad. I get the feels bad you're describing as the person playing him, because I get my opponent's extracts. They're, civilians, and then I don't get to play Quicksilver. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a dumb stipulation that isn't really good for anybody. Okay. Quicksilver's in B. Red Guardian. So,
B2.
Man, Red Guardian seemed a lot cooler to me than he lived up to be. That's kind of where I'm at.
It's
I don't
awkward.
think he's that great.
It's really awkward putting him in C tier as edged out by affiliated characters.
There's not much of an affiliation
There's
there. Right? Like nothing there, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I thought the thing is, Comrade's Keeper is that the Heroes for Hire card he has?
Yeah,
that card is nuts. I mean, it's size infinite.
Fine. It's worse than Heroes for Hire.
No, it is. That's what I was about to get to. That. Yeah, it's just worse than Heroes for Hire, and it's like, okay, he chucks a shield. I mean,
My
I don't.
biggest gripe with
I don't know.
Red Guardian is he just explodes randomly.
Yeah.
Like his attacks are good. Like his card is good. Yeah, I don't know. Something like he's fine.
So I've played him, and maybe what would fix him is with his repulsion field. For people who probably never play or don't even own this character, it's basically like you pay 2 power and you can count blanks for physical and energy attacks. But he only has the 3 dice for both of those. I would like it to say it's the same thing, except you get to have 1 extra die. Because, like, I can't tell you how many times you roll your 3 dice and, you just roll like 2 hits in a skull or something. You're like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably just waiting for Winterguard to not be bad.
Maybe. But I have played him, this guy.
There.
I mean, he's one of the
And no
Winterguard
leadership,
characters
by
I
the way.
bought. And I played him, and I'm telling you, he's always like weirdly underwhelming because
Yeah.
his tactics card requires him to have the power, which he kind of doesn't, and then he can't afford his repulsion field, but then he gets hit, and now he's at like 2 or 3 health. So yay, now I can afford my repulsion shield, and then I take the 2 or 3 health to die. Or maybe I live on 1, but that's even a curse too, because it's like now someone would like sneeze and I'm dead.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe...
I don't know. His power economy is pretty good, but like, yeah, he just explodes more than you'd like him to.
He gets extra power. It's true. He gets extra power when he's not dazed, but it just feels like his first hit, he always takes like 3.
Yeah.
And sure, I got an extra power, but the next hit kills me.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And then you honestly don't even want to use repulsion field because you're like, I know it's not going to matter.
You know it's not going to matter. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm at 2 health, and
You
I'm
got
only
2
rolling 3 dice.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with him. Like he reads a lot better than he has been on the table in my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not just saying things. I've played this guy a bunch, and I really did live. I honestly believe the hype that he was like another Luke Cage, and he's not another Luke Cage. I'm telling you, it's like
Nope.
Yeah, it just doesn't work the way you think it will. And then when he flips, you kind of don't want to use his tactics card because you're like, the poor guy's already, on his injured side. Like, I don't want to kill him.
That's
Anyway,
true. That's true.
It just doesn't work the way you think it will.
So,
I don't think it
I don't know,
does.
Dean, do you have any input on Red Guardian?
I mean, I'm higher on him than you guys are, but his being Panther Light in the right scenarios is really strong. He's pretty niche though, so I played him a lot in Sam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think he's definitely
good.
he's outsplashed. Like he's not.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Like he's definitely outsplashed, and I think for that reason he should be in B. Like,
You know,
like I said, he's in one faction, right, and they're not very good.
Okay, I have another problem with repulsion field. It doesn't work on throws either. So he's got 3 physical dice, and then they just throw something at me.
Yeah.
Like,
will you embrace?
Sure. If repulsion shield was also dodge dice and add 1 die, I would be in love with this guy. Because now it's like I'm rolling 4 dice and count blanks. Like you said, Panther Light. I'm in for that. But
yeah, I think he's fine in B. He's probably, like I said, the number one thing is he's probably waiting for Winterguard to be better.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't get a leadership either. That was another thing. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Kitty. I love Kitty so much, man.
This character. Dude,
I've been playing some
she's
X-Men
solid,
locally,
bro.
And Kitty's like my favorite character. Kitty's B for sure. I don't know if she's A. I don't know if I've played her enough to feel confident putting her there.
She feels a lot like Lizard to me, where she's gonna be really good at sort of like running around and being a menace, but her she can do her spender, but like how does she impact the board more actively? And it's like her attacks are very, very strong, but she doesn't.
Her kit's
have
so good, and
control.
like keeping her in range, and you can give people defense dice and dodge dice, and she has a teleport. She's a long mover. Like, oh man, I love Kitty so much.
I think she's a B tier, like just a flat B tier character right now, high B, that could easily get to A the more time goes on.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. She's B for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, B for sure. Playing against her, she killed my Luke Cage with 3 health left with a 4-die attack, and I loved every second of it. It was great. Yeah, I was sitting there just mathing in my head. I was like, how did you do this again? And then it was like, oh yeah, you don't get crits. That I'm like, okay, all right, sounds good.
Like I know one of my locals has been playing Kitty and Webs, and he's like, yeah, she's freaking good there. So
Yeah.
just add her to the list, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shocker. I like
Hey, my boy.
Shocker. I've played Shocker a bunch. I think he's fine. I think I go to Lizard before I go to Shocker. Maybe there's like niche scenarios where like Shocker's the extract grabbing dude on a narrow secure over Lizard, but I don't know. I think Lizard's generally better than Shocker, even though I think Shocker's okay. He's fine.
My thing with Shocker is, I think he's a solid B character. Like, no pun intended. I was shocked he was on a big base. I was putting him together, and I'm like, this dude's on a big base. Like, what? Like, I can double walk to the other side and like take a trap or something like that or whatever. But Shocker's just one of those characters that when you read him, probably the most boringest character you're ever gonna read. But the thing is, that doesn't mean he's bad. It's just he has a lot of good stuff. It's just not very exciting, not shocking.
Yeah. He's like Strucker. Like he's a stat ball.
Yeah.
Or like if you park him in cover with something like an extract, it becomes really annoying to come kill him.
Yes, it does.
Either you lose an attack die or you attack him in cover, and he's rolling a lot of defense dice. So it's like
it's tough. He's annoying. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm like torn between him or Lizard. It's like, okay, yeah, choose him. Okay, cool. I did like him on whatchamacallit, the pay to flip, the B or whatever, mutant, whatever it's called. Madman. Yeah, he was solid there. Pretty cool. He just stood there and just like it was funny. I had a funny interaction with him and Juggernaut. Dude put Juggernaut in in the Shocker, and I was like, all right, you're -1 defense die, and I increased it by 2 or whatever. Did no damage. Didn't even push him. He stayed there. He tried it again. But I was already ahead in this game, and I put custom upgrades on Shocker because I wanted to keep trolling Juggernaut. Like I just kept stacking the defense dice. He just couldn't do anything to him. I'm like, all right, like.
And you just rolled like 8 defense.
Yeah, he rolled like 8 defense. So he just didn't do anything. Like, so that's pretty funny. Like, but yeah, he's just he has surprised me. Just. Really solid character.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah,
like he's B tier for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else here has played Shocker, right?
I've played into him a couple times, but he's B.
Yeah. I've seen him played. I agree. He just kind of reminds me of a Crossbone, or not Crossbones, a Taskmaster. Just kind of like just does his thing. Kind of like dies slightly slower than you would think he will die, and then that's what he does.
Yeah. That's enough.
Yep. All right, we got Shuri next. I think Shuri's also B tier for me. I think she's like you can play her in Wakanda, you can play her in A-Force. I think she's good there.
Ship it. She's a B.
No, she's a B. She's not broken like she used to be. She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even when Shuri was like that, she wasn't splashed even when she pushed anything.
Right.
Basically, she's slightly down under Ghost Spider.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, no. Gwen's way better than Shuri in most instances. Yeah. But,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Shuri's like below. So we have Gwen at A and Shuri at B.
Yeah, Shuri like really wants to either give She-Hulk rerolls or like a Carol 2 rerolls, or she wants to play Wakanda forever. Not having those is kind of a bummer. So
she's cool with Spirit of Wakanda, but
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Okay, Sin. Sin's garbage.
Throw. Just there's nothing to talk about. She sucks. Sorry.
I looked at Sin again the other day, and man, her spender is garbage. Like her spender is like worse than some builders like in this game.
Dude.
And, like at like 3 or 4 threat, that's pretty gnarly.
Her leadership needs to get reworked.
And then like she has no HP. She's like no superpowers. Like since her leadership's bad. Yeah, Sin is not good.
She's not good, dude. They need to redesign her from the top down, like just all over the board.
Like back in the day, Partners in Crime was like okay-ish. I really wish Sin could work with the new Crossbones. I actually think it could be decent, but like you said, the spender is very underwhelming.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's
I
just
feel like I
bad.
just used her to get to pay for tactics cards when I played her. Her
Yep.
leadership is just a train wreck as well. I don't know what's going on over there. Not only that, but the leadership's so confusing that unless you play her like a million times, you don't even know what's going on. Yeah.
Yep. That's
She
not
has
great.
4 health on her front side. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I can pause it real quick. Yeah, Dean, I know. I was like trying to speed it up. I mean, we can. Do you guys want to finish it tomorrow?
If we
Okay.
get through like the next couple of them,
Oh,
I can just drop off because I don't have to talk about anything after Miles.
Honestly,
Okay, yeah, that
let's
works.
throw the obvious ones in trash. Let's just throw. Honestly,
Well, no, we can keep.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
you guys
let's
keep
get the
going,
webs
'cause I'm
done.
We
not-
can do like
Okay,
the next
all right,
ones
all
and
right,
then.
all right.
Yeah, after Miles, I'll jump off because I don't have context for anything else really. So.
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine.
Okay,
Cool. Yeah,
sounds good.
then we can be done with it. All right.
We should
We
actively
can
try to
finish it
go a
today,
little
though.
faster, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I've been
go
trying to
faster.
go as quick
Yeah,
as possible. So yeah.
let's go.
Okay, next up is Scourge. I've actually played some Scourge recently. I like Scourge. I think he's actually quite good, and I would not be surprised to see people playing him again when the new Asgard stuff comes out.
Same.
Like
Aggression
I
is
played
awesome.
him.
Yeah, on him.
Yeah, and I played him with the like he has a 6 dice attack, like a gainer, 6 dice, basically a builder. It's great.
Yeah.
And he his card with Enchantress is really good. So
Oh yeah,
His
the
problems are
executioner.
Asgard's problems, not
yeah,
his problems.
agreed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scourge goes to B. Okay, Spectacular Spider-Man. All right, Dean, take it away.
I mean, you're not going to convince me that any of the Web Warriors 3 threats outside of Moon Knight are less than A.
He's an 8
They
tier.
just, they just are.
Mhm.
Like they are. He's insane. You could splash him in a variety of different places. He's an extremely strong model. The one thing is that his tankiness in Web Warriors is what allows him to be so good. So you could maybe say that outside of that, he's not quite as good without the skulls unlocked. But his other faction also is about to unlock skulls. So and invaders and shield.
Yeah,
Good for him.
true. Yes, Spectacular owns. He's so good.
Yeah, he's very,
I know
very,
Aaron because
very
I
good.
played him next.
He's very consistent too, and it's awesome that they did that.
Yep, consistent. Like I said, the model I was most impressed with when I played the starter set last year at
His
Gen Con.
throw is nuts.
It's insane.
Like outside of all the consistency, his throw is insane.
Yep.
He's great. All right, Miles. I don't know where to put Miles.
I do.
Put him in S.
Where's he going?
I think it's
Put him,
S.
put him right next to Black Cat.
All
S tier.
right.
S tier.
Yeah.
He's an extract version. Like he's a hyper durable model who throws size 3s, who has action economy, who has a drop. This model is nuts for a 3 threat. Everything on his card is just good. Sometimes he can whiff, and that happens, but when he whiffs, the next turn you're getting Venom Blasted, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So I think that he belongs right alongside those other two as one of the premier splashes. I would say that if you're concerned with Zemo and Cat's balance, I don't think Miles is necessarily balance concern worthy. I think Miles is a very swingy model.
If I was going to nerf Miles, I've thought about it. Here's what I would do. I would make his throw on his builder be after damage and size 2. And then I would make his leadership not allow you to mod skulls unless you're on a secure. I would get rid of the holding part of his leadership.
Thoughts on Venom Blast costing 4?
Yeah, Venom Blast is way too undercosted, I think.
For a 3 threat, come on, man.
Well,
He's like competing with
the reason why, yeah.
What is it? Spider Woman. What is
Yeah,
it?
it costs the same.
Sure,
Does
but
it?
she's a 4 threat.
I guess. I mean,
That's a cost.
I don't know. Like Human Torch, who we haven't got to yet, has a 3 power like drop your thing ability, and it's not an action. So like, I don't know.
That's true.
I guess. I don't know. A 3 threat having a cheap. I mean, because 3 power is not
Also, the
that
fact
expensive.
that it's Also, the fact that it's an attack lets it get diverted by bodyguards and sacrifice and stuff. So,
And hers synergizes with her poison. I'm not saying that's a lot, but it is better than Miles's. It's not the same thing.
Fair. It just like people play like Hellfire Club, play no matter the cost. Maybe it's a no matter the cost problem, honestly. But the fact you can no matter the cost it's kind of like you're cheating the system.
yeah, I have issues with no matter the cost, but that's a that card problem, not a Miles problem.
No,
Sure,
that's
but that
probably-
card exists, and we have to
Yeah.
acknowledge that currently.
I think
You know,
I think you could convince me that Miles is the highest possible A tier model in the game, and not S tier. But
Yeah,
so well, when we were talking about Black Cat, I was actually thinking that for a while people were taking Miles over Black Cat, like in Hellfire Club, for example. Not to say that they, it's because that people have played both, blah blah blah. But I've definitely noticed there was times when people were actually dropping Black Cat and just playing Miles, and a lot of it's a no matter the cost problem. It could turn one no matter the cost with Miles is very powerful when you can heal in affiliation.
it's also that Miles weirdly has better tempo in terms of scoring than Black Cat does, because he can pick something up and then like make people drop things very quickly. He can score secures while he's holding points, and he can help you score that way much easier than Black Cat can, who can kind of get to the 3 and steal, but then she has to not die as well. And early he can be a safe grab. Like he does a lot with 3 if you can cheese him up to 3 power. Like better than Black Cat does, weirdly enough. But
he's kind of the halfway point between Zemo and Cat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I would say, yeah.
that's actually a really funny point.
yeah, I will say he feels dicier than either other model, which is fine. But that's his big thing is like, you will roll 3 blanks in 2 blanks on defense. You will whiff 2 4-dice builders. You will whiff a 6 and a 4. Doesn't happen every time, but he doesn't have the consistency of the auto stagger or the martial artist and stuff like that. Just having so many Miles games, he's an extremely good model. I'm not knocking him, but that's the.
I mean, sometimes you'll wake up in the morning, read Discord, and see you apologizing for rolling 5 blocks. So.
That is true.
Listen, Electro deserved it, and Dirty Spider for players get what's coming to them.
That's funny.
I mean, Miles but he is a swingy, and that is a pun, model but he's great. I mean, I put him in S tier, so yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Miles is extremely good.
Also, he's so fun, just swinging around, being a G.
Yep.
We love
Blocking
it.
everything.
I love Miles. I don't think Miles needs to be nerfed. I've just thought about if I was to nerf him, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If he requires one, it's so light. I think
Yeah.
Web Warriors are unique in that any issue is like Black Cat's tankiness aside. The issue with the strength of the faction is the overwhelming weight of how good all of their models are. They have 4 models in S and A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Avengers have 3, so
Avengers have 3. Yep.
It's like if you're spamming 3s and all your 3s are like
Oh yeah, 4.
like 10 or 20% slightly above average, but then you add up all of them together, it kind of like accumulates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Miles is good. All right. Dean, you can just drop whenever you feel like it. I don't care.
cool.
Cool. Let me write a note down for that. I guess Chewy's steering this, but I'll edit this part
we're
out.
good.
Sure. Okay. Next up, we got Star-Lord. Star-Lord's slightly overstated, in my opinion, with like his 6 health. But I don't know. The dude's never splashed. Like, I think he's just a B tier model.
He's a
He
B
doesn't
tier
really do
model.
anything except make attacks that don't have any tricks.
Yeah.
I still think his leadership's A or S, but
As a character by himself,
It's
like
really hard to say because, like, I kind of think Guardians are mostly fine right now, and it feels like they were just ever since. Like, look at it this way: ever since Star-Lord got buffed, what happened? People played Hulk in that team with single extracts, and then people played, and then Guardians actually dropped off a little bit when Malekith was really dumb, and then Malekith got nerfed, and then people started playing Thanos with Guardians. and then people started playing CGR with Guardians. So like, I think finally all those things have been mostly addressed, and like Thanos feels better in Cabal, in my opinion. So, like, I think Guardians are like fine. I think like any problems are like Thanos problems.
Maybe, but I think they're like one of those things where like the next big kaiju comes out and then it's good in Guardians.
Yeah, they could be. I mean, Malekith wasn't that, so I don't know. It's dependent.
Yeah.
The reason was because Malekith, like if you played Cabal Malekith versus Guardians Malekith, the Cabal Malekith just had priority all the time. And you just kill your Malekith. So, like we tested this. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Guardians are still like upper tier though.
Yeah, they're good.
They still have
They're
Bill
sure.
and
They do, but
but
the thing is, this is mostly like this is just Star-Lord by himself, right? This is
Yeah,
Star-Lord without, you know what I mean? Like it's
we're
hard to.
talking about the
Yeah,
leadership.
he lives in he. Yeah, he like lives with Mystique in this tier. Like I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's.
He's good.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you on the B.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put Storm in. Storm's next. I'm gonna have to put her in the same tier.
Yeah.
Storm is like really close to A tier for me. I think. I don't know. It's a tough call. Like, I really like Storm. I think she's great.
I'm happy what they did with Aurora. I'm really happy what they did with her. She's really good now. Lowering the power cost for her, adding dice.
Storm has never splashed though, so it's just like
yeah,
yeah. Storm's got to live in B for me because I just never see her out of X-Men.
Yeah.
I mean, she actually does season play in Wakanda and also affiliated there. So.
Yep.
All right. Swoosh, do you have anything on Storm?
No, Storm's such an old character, and we've talked so much about her on the pod. So,
yeah.
I mean, like, her leadership's worse, but the character's better, and I think it just evens out.
Yeah, it evens out really well. I think. We actually play her as a character.
Supergiant. Yeah. No, she's like good under Cyclops. Like I've played her under Cyclops. Yep. She's solid there. Like I like her. Supergiant. Man, Supergiant's bad.
She's just bad. We've been proven right since the beginning of time. My first episode on the Dangerroom when I said she was trash and I got destroyed in Discord. Whatever. I've been right ever since. She's bad. I don't know. She's just bad. That's all I can say.
She doesn't really do anything.
Right. She does nothing.
All she does is like not die to physical attacks and terrain damage.
Right. But
if you have an energy attack, she explodes. She has like no mobility. Her spender doesn't do damage.
You have to be within range too, and hope to get a Yahtzee.
Yeah, like you have to get like a 5% Yahtzee for the spender to do anything.
Yeah, and then her submit thing is weird. I don't know. She's a design miss. There's a lot on this card.
A hot mess.
She's just a hot mess, man. I don't think they understand what they want to do with this character. They want her to be like, I don't know, this anti-control, but then they want her to play the scoring game a little bit with this whole submit thing, and I don't know. She just all over the place is a design disaster, and I just think this is just an example of. She is, dude. She's a design disaster.
Dude,
yeah, what's up?
I mean, like, I'm reading her card because I haven't read it since she came out. I think I played her like a few times. It looks like someone's cat walked over the keyboard when they were doing Devour Mind. But then I was like, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, auto KOing someone's kind of cool. And then I looked at the power costs. And my head exploded. 8 power for this?
8 power, bro. And you got to remember, there are people on Facebook who are sitting there telling me, well, if you get rerolls, you can KO a Hulk. And I said, okay. Sounds good. If you want to spend your 8 power doing that, fine, man. Feel free. If that makes you happy, go for it, bro.
I don't remember, but we used to talk about the math. I think it's like 2% or something.
It's not great. It's just not great, dude. There's nothing on this character. It's just it's a shame because like her model's
I remember,
cool, you know.
Yeah, her model's dope.
Yeah.
I remember if you play her in Convocation with Plane of Poldock and you give her Baron Mordo dice.
Oh.
So what's the attack is like base 8, right?
Yeah.
Dice.
Mm-hmm.
So you put it up to 10, and then Poldock gives you like Dark Rain. It's like reroll any. I think that the math was like 30% or something like that.
Was it?
Something.
Okay.
I don't know what it exactly was, but it wasn't It was in the realm of possibility. It wasn't like 5%.
Okay.
So, I don't know. But
Sure.
still,
Is that
that's
like a
just
10
like,
power thing though, or she doesn't
it's
have
a
to pay
freaking
for
11 power thing.
that? Okay.
It is. It's an 11 power.
Uh,
Yeah,
No,
brother.
it's definitely bad.
It's
Okay.
It's
bad.
definitely bad. It's like
I-
the equivalent of like trying to fearful symmetry somebody.
I don't want to like beat the dead horse, but like submit is civilians only, which is I get it. If they're
Yes.
trying to say that like you have a civilian or something, and then you're like compelled to come to her. But what if I don't know? Your hero is a civilian or a human of a humanoid.
Yeah.
Why can't you get an asset by making the humanoid submit the asset to you?
Oh yeah, sure. Why
Like,
not?
how do we get? I don't understand how we keep doing this.
I don't know
Why
either.
is it civilian only?
I don't know.
It's not
it-
even a lore problem.
Well, dude, do you remember when she came out? You know what the big issue with this was? There was only 2 civilian tokens. It was few and far between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Panic Grips was banned. Yeah.
That was it, and it was like this is just. It was
No, there was actually OG senators.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
still just like they weren't civilians until you found it. Or
Correct.
Something like that.
Yep.
It was so
Okay.
dumb.
It was just dumb. It's just a disaster.
Yeah.
She is a disaster, and I hate to say this. Like, if anybody likes the model and play her all the time, like, hey, good for you, right? I applaud you.
Well,
but disaster.
when Logan first came out, I actually considered playing her as like a Logan counter. But I mean, she's short move with a small base. Like Logan just goes somewhere else, and I'm like chasing with like a broken
Yep.
ankle.
Yeah,
It's-
it just why would a Logan player ever attack this character, right? Like it's just
You just ignore her.
you ignore her, she does nothing, and you just win the game. There you go. Like,
yeah. So
I'm sorry,
anyway,
man.
Dream
It's
is
just,
dead.
that character really irks me because it's like,
Yeah,
damn.
she needs to just be errated from the ground up, like
Yeah.
redesigned. Okay, Taskmaster's next.
Hell yeah.
I like Taskmaster. I think he's solid. Like I think he lives in B tier for me. I think he's a little underappreciated, honestly.
B tier.
Yeah, I played him at WTC, and I don't
Can
know.
be
I think he won. I think he won every game I played him in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's exactly what I asked for. Just like, please, for the love of God, make my shield throw useful.
Yeah.
You know,
God. That was so
which
frustrating.
helps pay for like all according to plan.
Mhm.
There's not much to say other than he just does. It's literally like Shocker, right? Where
Yep.
just he's a 3 threat that takes longer to kill than maybe you want it to, but that's what he is. That's
what he
his
is.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like both Shocker and Taskmaster might get annoyed if someone like steals from them and then runs away, but Taskmaster definitely over Shocker has like the ability to like be relevant, like for example in Scoundrels where he could throw shields and ignore cover. You might even get some ricochets or something. But yeah, he just very kind of cookie basic mini that does what he does well and very solid B character. And I would even take him over Hood often because Hood's synergies are weird. Like for example in Scoundrels, like I wouldn't want to play Hood because of the cover.
Right.
And he's not Hood can be durable, but it's like a little more questionable sometimes.
Mhm.
Where like I could trust Taskmaster, and also if people aren't in the right distances, Hood is not actually gaining any power for me, but Taskmaster didn't struggle with that. So yeah, I have nothing but nice things to say about Taskmaster, and the change they made was very smart.
Very. Helped him a lot.
Taskmaster also randomly trolls the crap out of rapid fire models. Basically, the action is they have to hit you twice with rapid fire,
Yup.
and then you can double counter strike them at 6 dice each.
Yup.
So yeah, attacking with rapid fire is spooky. Like you probably don't want to be doing that.
Probably don't
And
want
his spender's really cool. Like
Yeah,
2
Taskmaster's
power
good
for,
attacks.
Yeah.
you can
very
have
good
2 power
attacks.
for 8 dice. That's a deal.
That's a
Yeah.
really good deal. Yep. Mhm.
And no modifications.
Yep. No mods. He just ruins you,
Yeah.
dude. That was that one thing that was holding him back. It was just the shield throw that wasn't giving him power. It was weird. I'm like, everything
Yes.
else on his model is great. He just needs some help with power. And the shield throw, I don't know. I'm just glad they did it, and now we can see what he really can become. Like he's
Yeah.
solid. Like he's so good.
Yeah, I like Taskmaster. He's
Yeah.
definitely pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Blob.
Blobbington.
Speaking of
Oh,
models
boy.
that I love,
My brother.
Blobbers.
Blobbers. Yeah. Dude, I
Look, I love Blob.
Yeah.
He's B tier though, but man, Blob's great. Like, I love playing him in Brotherhood. I even played him
Yeah.
in Foes and Timelines, and he was great.
I mean, we've talked about the combos in other pods, but maybe if you want to just, there's like the whole Warpath combo.
Yeah, so you can play Warpath with Blob. Basically, if anybody attacks him at any range, like at range 4 or 5, where he can't like push them away, you can Warpath to be in range always, assuming there's like terrain problems, and then you can push them back, and they'll be outside of range 5 at that point. So
that is
cool
such a
synergy
sick
with Blob.
combo. That is so cool to do.
It's really cool. I actually have yet to do it in game. Like, I don't know. People are usually like in Blob's face, or they ignore him. There isn't really like a mid-rangey thing. I don't know.
Blob Spender is.
People usually just try to ignore
quality.
Blob.
Yeah, they just ignore Blob.
Yeah.
You have to
Blob
ignore
Spender
him.
owns.
Yeah, Blob Spender is phenomenal. I love repositioning my own models. Like, I played an opponent. I think last time I played him was back in January. And, like, I did a Thunderous Splash. And I was repositioning every model, and he saw me repositioning one of mine. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It says all models."
Yeah.
So I'm repositioning my model to put him in a better spot for like a sacrifice or something like that for the next turn. It's so good. That Spender is so funny and it's great. I'm just imagining a big giant man just separating everybody and just like doing his thing. Like, I mean, he has a terrain throw. I mean, the push thing is great. I mean, Web Warriors don't like that. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, granted, they're not going to attack him. But if they do, it's like, well, damn, brother, you're going to get pushed back. Like, I'm just going to sit on the secure and just laugh at you the entire time. Yeah, nah, man, he's sick, man.
I love Blob.
I love him.
Yeah. Torch. I'm a little conflicted on Torch. Oh
man.
He's definitely just like worse Pyro.
Yes.
Like, the only thing he has on Pyro is
the asset token?
the extract drop on his card versus a tactics card.
Yeah.
But like, Pyro's card works on all types. Like, man, Torch is definitely C tier, maybe D tier. Like, I don't know. He just, every time I've played against him, he feels like he does nothing.
I've played with him. He's done nothing. I thought doing a whole like gritting extracts or whatever assets with it would be cool. I never had the power for it. I don't know. This is another character here. I'll put him at D, to be honest with you. I really don't. He just doesn't do enough for me on the table to anything. Like, I mean, nothing. I mean, there's nothing on this card. I'm like, oh, can he kill someone? No. He dropped the asset token.
Like, weirdly bad.
Yeah, I don't. It's just bad. Beam 2, what is this? Like, spend a power, but then spend. It's just a nightmare. He
has no way to stay alive. Like, he explodes.
He explodes. He dies.
So here's the thing. He's only in Shield, and Shield has the dumbest tactics cards, and by dumb I mean really good. Maybe they just were like not sure how to handle this, and he was punished for it.
Could be. I mean, honestly, to be fair,
he's designed around their tactics cards, and I think the character is unfortunately suffering.
Yeah, I think what they should have done was taken the Pyro approach with him, which is the granted, this is the whole incinerate thing that Pyro does. I forgot what it's called on his card. Maybe they should have put that on here or something, where he just incinerates people if they're incinerated.
Oh, like where Pyro spreads the fire.
Yeah, obviously fix it because it's a little broken right now. But the point is, like, if he had maybe something like that, then I'd be like, oh my god, he can do this thing. You know what I mean? Like, he can incinerate people. Okay, cool. Like, awesome.
Torch would actually be like the perfect model to make move long. Like,
yeah, I would say so.
I think making him move long would help a lot, but yeah, he's just bad right now. I don't know. I'm willing to go up a tier on him if I saw someone doing something with him that was cool, but I've never seen it.
I don't see it ever. I mean, I hear rumors, and I'm like, I still haven't seen it. It hasn't done anything. So
yeah, like long move hit and run would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Sure.
Maybe the problem is it's like you can't give him more range, like, because it's a beam.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward. But I don't know. I've never seen anyone do anything interesting with him, and I've never once thought, oh, I need more Human Torch in my life.
Yeah, there's nothing cool he does. Like either.
Yeah, half of his card is like blank for the most part because like the spender is weirdly not great. His asset drop isn't always relevant. I do a damage to people that push me is niche at best. And then he gains power when he ends a move next to incinerated people. So like
Right.
I don't know, man. Like half of his card does nothing. And then he just has like a bad stat line on top of it.
Yeah, it's like his text has a lot of words, but then you read them and you're like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, none of it
just
really
don't.
does anything.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does nothing. Like
It's
at
like
all.
junk food text. I don't know. It just doesn't feel filling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's at
Yeah.
10 health.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I think Gambit's better than Torch. So like
Yeah, I'm like literally like these are Gambit stats. It's 10 health and 3
Yeah.
stats.
Yep. Yeah, I
Moves
agree with you
medium.
there.
I mean, he does have hit and run though. Gambit doesn't even have that. So
no, I
you
know,
what?
but Gambit can at least displace people when he rolls more dice. So like
Right.
whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, I
Gambit
just
goes,
wish-
Torch goes in the Gambit tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valk. I like Valkyrie still. I think she's solid. I think she'll probably just see more play when Asgard gets more releases.
Yep. She's still the same character.
Asgard hasn't really had much release since the game came out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, her like Warrior of Legend turns are still pretty nutty.
They are.
Yeah, Valk was always a suicidal missile, but like the game's offense wasn't that great back in the day. And she's all range 2, right? So she's charging,
Yeah.
she's range 2.
Punch you in the face, right?
She always was considered a little bit of like a glass cannon, and it was her like 1 extra health that kept her alive a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll see when Asgard gets more characters if this all changes and I'm just wrong. But first of all, I think she probably shouldn't have been nerfed with her throw being more costly.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm a little nervous that like being a glass cannon when the game first came out, and now there's so many characters, like maybe she's just a little too much glass, and the cannon's probably good still. Like
Right.
Warrior of Legend is still really cool, and she can play Doom Prophecy, so like maybe there's still something there with Asgard, but I don't know.
I think her and Scourge are like in the good tier that are just waiting on.
Yeah,
Like
More
tangential
Asgard stuff.
buffs.
Yeah, let's see what happens when the new stuff comes out. Cause
yeah, I'd say it's like we're gonna put her in B, but like maybe she never actually does anything. We'll see. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Viper.
Trash. I'm sorry,
no,
bro.
Viper's slightly better than that.
Okay.
Viper goes in C tier. Like she's about as good as Iceman. Like
You think so?
Drax or whoever we have in this tier.
Ah, man, that's rough, brother. I don't ever see her play. That's the issue, though. Maybe I think the issue.
I mean,
is
she's another model like Zola, where she's waiting for Hydra to like have a reason to be played ever.
It's weird because I want to say she's a D, but I don't even have the energy to fight it. I mean, it's like let's be real. No one actually cares. Like no one's gonna play this character or not play this character.
that's the issue. No one's gonna play the character, and we're not really gonna get any real data on it.
Look,
and it's just
Look, she's a long mover in Hydra. So here's the problem. Here's problem one. Zemo 1 is too strong. Problem 2, if Hydra had a card that wanted people to play affiliated models like a surprise webhead or something, Viper would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, my AMG please do this suggestion is make her more about poison and give her like a reroll if someone's poisoned.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I
Like-
do agree with that. Ratting her to be more poison focused would be really fun.
That would be.
And
really
by the
cool.
way, being poison focused synergizes with Strucker,
Yeah.
who would be benefiting. She'd even heal from poisoning someone.
she would be able to heal.
theoretically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's my suggestion. And I think having her like have her own little version of like Genius, but it's just for her, would just be like that. It's like it makes sense. It's like that's their thing. They're like these
It's
little
like Kraven reroll.
Yeah, there
exactly.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, I think that's enough. But that does mean that they got to change a little bit because like she doesn't have poison on her ranged attack. And
Right.
she's got it on her spender, but like at that point, you're not happy about it. They just need to change her up a little bit. And I think like Zemo being the bleed guy and having Viper as the poison person with Strucker, I just think that's sweet.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah. Yeah, Viper could be cool. I'd like to see if they buff her at some point. I think they
I
could
would,
make her pretty fun.
Yeah, I would like
She's
to.
super boring right now for sure. But I think just by virtue of like being a long mover with stealth, like she could have some merit. I think only in Hydra. If you had a reason to play Hydra.
Had a reason
I
to
mean,
Hydra, yeah.
if you guys could talk
I mean,
me
I've
into
played
putting-
against her in Hydra and she's like okay.
if you guys could,
I don't know. I've never played against her. Never fielded her. I mean, maybe I did a couple years ago, and I just don't remember. But man, I don't see the problem is I don't see the impact outside. Stealth is huge. Long move is huge. Outside of that, it's like, where's your impact? Like, what are you doing?
she's a boring play pattern for sure. And probably Assassin's Pistol maybe could go to 5 dice because like it's almost like why is that not rapid fire?
Yeah, I don't.
It's like
Yeah.
it's
I don't
not
know.
doing anything.
It doesn't do anything. I don't know. Like,
But you know, maybe 5 dice and my little poison idea. I think that could work.
yeah, I think
But-
so. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Actually, it makes her more interesting.
Yes, that's what she needs.
Yeah,
she
that's
just
what she
needs a little more
needs, like-
spice.
Something like, ugh. Anyway,
All right, Vulture. I haven't played Vulture yet still.
haven't
I'm
myself.
I mean, I think Vulture's a C tier model at best. I mean, he might even be in the bad tier. Like, the guy is Gwen Stacy stats.
Mm-hmm.
His range 2 attack is, like, so debilitating. And I feel like it's just really hard for him to get the turn that he wants.
Yeah,
His spender is good.
the spender's fantastic. Abduct is
If he had
fantastic.
a range 3 attack,
Mhm.
if he had a range 3 attack or was a long mover on a small base, I think he could make B for sure.
Yeah. Well, he does have. I mean, the spender's range 3, but you know.
Yeah, but he's got to roll dice to make
To
power.
make
Like,
it,
He has hubris,
yeah.
but he can never roll dice because he's a freaking range 2.
Range 2 attack. Yeah. No, that's yeah. I just think that's a miss. I think the Raptor Strike's just a miss, man. I think if they make that range 3 or 4, or not 4, I'm sorry, just range 3, I think he has enough on here to do something. I mean, Abduct is insane. Abduct is
That's
crazy.
fine.
I mean,
It's
just placing a
fine.
character within range 2. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's a game breaking thing, but like placing a character within range 2 is pretty nuts. And it's any size.
But
So-
it's like also tied to an action.
It
so
is.
Like,
It is.
I don't know.
No, I think
just-
this guy's trash. I don't even know why you're putting him in
I'm-
C.
Yeah.
Listen.
How
if you,
the hell is this
I don't-
guy
I don't-
3
I don't
3
ha-
with
yeah.
5 and he's range 2 attacker?
Yeah. No.
And
that's
why
yeah.
is a range 2 attacker using hit and run?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's
I
he
just-
running
I don't
from?
know. No one knows. It's just, yeah. I don't get
Hit
it.
and run on a range 2 attack?
He's just
What
gonna
is
die.
going
anyway.
on?
He's just gonna die. Like it's not.
He's squishy, slow, range 2 hit and run. And abduct is whatever. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
I don't wanna trash abduct because it's interesting. But yeah, this dude only has 10 health with barely any defense. Like he's just gonna die.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. He's not good.
No.
And really, like just compare him to all his friends, like even Shocker and all the characters. You know, like what are you doing?
Right. There's no reason to ever
Lizard.
take him.
Yeah, Kraven. I mean, it's just like this guy's at the bottom.
Yeah. Sorry, Vulture.
I can't believe you. Why is that not charged? Why is that hitting you?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad, dude. It's really bad. He's a design miss, I think. Just if I were to make any changes, like I said, I'd probably just make his no, not probably. I will make his builder like range 3 or 4, and give him something for defensive tech. I don't know if they want to give him like an extra health or whatever, but that's where I would start with him, and I think everything else is all right. But he just doesn't
Yeah, like,
work. He doesn't work.
The
Right
fun. The funny thing is, even if they gave him charge, he's just too squishy to be at range 2.
Right, he shouldn't be. He should be outside of range 2. Like he should be flying around and like doing weird shit. Like being in range 2 doesn't make sense to me. Like for Vulture as a character, I just don't get it. Like
Yeah.
It just comes down to play pattern, and I just don't get it.
yeah, this is a miss.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of misses,
Yeah, War Machine.
War
Machine only
Machine.
saw like a glimmer of meta play because all you've got was so broken.
yes.
Yeah, put him down there. Trash. You get him a C or D. Okay.
All
at
you've
the end
got
of the day, War
beams.
Machine's a damage reduction model. Yeah, he's definitely like the bottom of C for me. I don't know, he might
Hold
even
on.
be worse than that. I don't
You
know.
also
I feel like
forgot-
Ant-Man's way better than him.
It wasn't just all you've got. You would all you've got and do the what's that silly thing? The bitter rivals.
Oh, bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by being virtue of like a cheap beam model
Right.
that was in Avengers was enough to play him because the cards were so broken.
Right.
But yeah, War Machine's not great.
Oh.
Yeah,
I played
got
him in an affiliation
yeah.
battle when I played Shield in like the last year, and man, he felt bad.
He's really
He didn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything at all.
I don't even know where to start with how to fix him either, to be honest.
Just make him not boring. Like AMG.
Yeah, he's very boring.
AMG's made Iron Man twice, and they made War Machine once, and they're all boring. Now we have Iron Man in A tier. Iron Man is good, but I still think he's boring for Iron Man.
Oh, he is pretty boring.
Like when I watch Iron Man in the movies, or even the comics or whatever, he's always like flying around, assessing things, putting out fires. Like
Right.
he's just a static turret in this game. And I think, Iron Man 1 is good at doing that, but it is not Iron Man to me. Like War Machine in Infinity War is literally flying around bombing like a perimeter.
Yeah.
Yep.
That doesn't happen in MCP.
Well,
no, it
he
really
does the
doesn't.
bombing.
Like,
he just doesn't do the flying around.
Yeah,
Like-
correct.
yeah, flying around. Maybe they should make him like a hit and run. I don't know. Maybe not a hit and run character.
Yeah,
but-
I would love to see like a long moving Iron Man. that
Okay,
does
okay.
things.
Let me tell everyone that hasn't read War Machine's card what abilities he has. He has flight and reduce by 1 damage.
That's it.
That's his whole card.
That's his
Yep.
entire card.
He has a beam builder. And
No.
Kills himself.
Yeah, he attacks. Everybody does that.
Yeah, he attacks and then he has damage reduction and flight. That's it.
Yep. Everything else is
Like-
just boring.
Just let that sink in for a second. That's just like
That's War Machine.
damage reduction and flight. That's just that is nothing. It's like damage reduction is one of the best abilities in the game, and flying is cool, I guess. But that's the grand total sum of what your character
Yeah,
does.
I mean, they didn't give him anything to like add dice or nothing. Like, they just said, you know what, this is enough. We're just gonna have him shoot people and just have -1 damage and fly. Okay.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
Like,
I
I don't
know.
know, brother. I don't get it. It's just bland. Like it's just, I don't know. They just gave up. They're like, here, send him out the door.
Okay, we can leave with
I feel
him, but
bad. Viper and War Machine got to come down.
thank you.
Thank you. Like they just, they're trash.
I
brother.
finally broke Mike.
I broke.
Yeah, I'm doing a disservice to Ant-Man right now.
You are.
Yes.
You are.
Yep. It's not fair to Ant-Man to do this.
Yeah, it isn't.
But speaking of Ant-Man, there's Wasp.
Yeah, we got Wasp. She's about just as good as Ant-Man for
Yeah.
the same reasons that we talked about.
Yeah. There's not much. to
I
talk
like
about.
Wasp. She's really fun to play, but like, she has the same frustrating aspects that Ant-Man has.
Yeah, needs the other energy defense. Wasp is actually very fun to play with characters that give power.
Yeah.
I played her at
Yeah.
A-Force and I really enjoyed it. But unfortunately, she's just edged out by other characters better than her in affiliation. So
Yeah, if Wasp could literally just play an extract, like a normal extract game,
Right.
she'd be fine. Like, I would play her in A-Force.
Yeah.
She's actually randomly really funny in a Toad. Like, she just walks up
Oh,
and
she's
shoots Toad until he
hilarious.
can't slippery.
Yep. Because the energy attack absorbs takes power away, or does you don't gain
No,
power.
you don't get power off the
There
attack.
you go. Right.
So,
It's really funny.
yep.
Yep. I'll just say, I really enjoyed Wasp's Fury. She's 6 dice, range 3, energy, and she advances after the attack and then switches forms.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
And then when she switches forms, she has another range 3 attack. That it's fun. It's
And she had the terrain throw. Since she's so
Yeah.
mobile, she can get access to terrain. Like it's a range 3 pickup. Like it's a good throw.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Wasp and Ant-Man should be buffed just because they're so fun to play already, and it would be nice if they got some quality of life things.
It would be great.
A lot of people would have to buy those boxes. It's
Oh
like the
my
one-
god, yeah.
Dude, when I started, I bought literally everything in this game for years. The only thing I didn't buy was Ant-Man and Wasp. Even though I kind of had fun playing them, like TTS stuff, but I just had to draw the line. I was like, I'm not going to play these characters.
Yeah, I bought them randomly like 2 years ago. They're fine.
All right, we got Bucky 1.
Man.
Bucky 1 would have been an S tier model prior to the nerf.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I want to say he's B at best. Yeah, he's 100% B at best. He might even be worse than that.
Well, was Vince playing him?
No. I don't
Yes,
think so.
but
Was
Vince
he?
will only play him on hammers.
So he has him for 1 extract.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's rough. Okay.
That is very rough, yeah.
If Vince isn't playing him, then nobody's playing him.
I think Bucky 1's got to go to C tier now.
Yeah, I think so.
He's definitely not D though. For sure
No.
not D.
No.
If you can give him some kind of dice mods, his attacks are actually reasonable.
Yeah.
And okay, I do have one minor complaint though with Bucky that's annoying as hell. Why is Bucky only in Shield? I understand he's the rogue agent, but like, oh my god, the fact that dude, the other Bucky in the new core set is Avengers, Cabal, Hydra,
Yep.
and Winter Guard. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
What are you
and he's
doing?
Shield. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he's Shield, but like, come on, man, that's not fair.
No, it really
Yeah, I
isn't.
don't know.
I don't get why he's not in any of those affiliations like that. It's really weird.
Like this Bucky with Cabal affiliation. I mean, come on, then you get some Dark Reign action.
Dark
like, I'm
Reign
in for
going on.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
Yeah,
bummer.
the nerf was huge on him. Like it was bad.
Mhm.
It needed to happen, but I don't think he's amazing. And I think all the models we have in B tier I like more than him.
Mhm.
In
Yep.
fact, that's for sure a true statement.
All right,
Okay, X-23. Our last one.
the last one.
She's
Did I
so
say
close
the
to
best
S.
for last?
She's so close to, but I
Laura
would
goes
say
to
for
A
A.
tier.
Yeah.
Okay, if Zemo ever got nerfed, she becomes like the next premium killer in my book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I personally like X-23 more than Domino. But
I like them both for different
they-
reasons.
to be fair, they kind of do different things. Like Domino's kind of like the giant killer, and X-23 is like the little bully that kills the little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She does it really
different.
well.
And that's actually cool for the game because it's different flavors.
Yep.
Different needs, but or answers to problems anyway.
Mhm.
Frenzy's sweet. She attacks above her weight class. I've heard so many times people try to say X-23 is broken or overpowered, and my counter to that is she has no displacement. The only thing she does is kill things, and she's just usually a dice above average. Which, okay, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think she operates. She's fine. She's not broken or any. I mean, she's close, right? I mean, she's the medium moving Zemo, right? The reason why I bring that up is because, well, she has an attack that moves her medium. So does Zemo. Zemo has a spender that does the same thing for 2 power cost. Granted, that's the only comparison to Zemo. Well, built-in reroll.
Yeah, she's got.
But yeah, the point is like, I've had games where I've just, I crapped the bed with her, right? And I just didn't roll well, and it was a bad day. But most times I'm rolling pretty well with her, and she just pops off and changes the game. She's a game changer, 100%.
Yes.
She can pop off and just you won the game because of it, and that's just how she works, right? She's so close to S, but I don't think she ever will be.
No, she's not as.
No. I mean, close. Like she's like, if they made any
She's
stupid
good.
changes to her, you know what I'm saying? Like if they ever did anything to put her over the top, yeah, she'd be S.
No.
but she's A.
The only thing, X-23 is a really good model. If anyone has any complaints with her, they're really complaining about exceptional healing.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah,
like if exceptional became restricted or nerfed or whatever, I think she becomes a lot less ubiquitous.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. I mean, exceptional keeps her alive. I mean, it's so frustrating to put her down, right? When you get her injured side, it's just damn, dude.
It's kind of a shame Honey Badger doesn't see more play because she has the big sis thing, which is fun.
Yeah, that is really fun.
I like randomly that she counts as size 3. And
until you get robbed and thrown into your own cable.
That's boy, let me tell you.
So I will say she was slightly nerfed by the nerf to Storm because she always felt like slightly more durable than she seems with cover and then the reroll. But with the nerf to Storm's leadership, I don't know. She's a little squishy, but it's fine. I mean, she's only a 3 threat. She has exceptional healing.
Yeah,
so.
she does her job really well. That's, she's a character I hope never ever gets. I think she's fine, perfect the way she is. Just leave her. Don't ever make changes to her. Keep it the way she is. And she'll always sit here. Unless there's another character that is her threat level and does something similar. But, I mean, she's good, man. I mean, she was the better Wolverine. She was what we wanted Wolverine to be. Remember those days when she came out? We're like, well, damn, we wanted Wolverine to be this guy, be this character. Like, I don't get it. Why is X-23 this character? It drove me crazy. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's so true. My favorite thing to do, and maybe this is never competitive, but I just like to play X-23 and Zemo in the same list, regardless of affiliation.
Yep.
I just love so much these two together. It's just I love the little slayers. I don't know. One last thing too. Again, no matter the cost, kind of like makes this character silly.
Right.
A turn 1 claw rush is brutal.
It's insane, man.
It's very good. And then if you add in like first class, she can theoretically like still pick something up or interact.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's the thing.
Super strong turns, and then you just heal the 2, right? Because she has healing factor.
Yep.
It's like
so no mana cost doesn't even hurt her. Good point. Yeah. I think it's funny that she has healing factor 2 and like Sabretooth always gets 1. It's just always bugs me.
Poor OG Sabretooth, man.
That always bugs me, man.
It does. Sabretooth should have healing factor 2, I think. I don't know.
I agree.
That's another discussion for another day.
Anyway, I love X-23 though. She's literally one of my favorite characters in the game.
Yeah, I've never bored playing her. I've never been bored playing her. I enjoy her a lot. I mean, do I get frustrated playing into her? Yeah. But me playing with her? Psh.
I remember you had a Juggernaut with 3 hammers when we were playing, and my X-23 was literally my only shot to beat you, and she took him down. It felt great.
Oh my god, I was like, I was so in control of that game, Mike. Like, it was insane. I was like, okay, I can do whatever I want here. And it is what it is, right? And all of a sudden, she just pops off and kills Juggernaut, takes all 3 of my hammers and wins. I'm like, okay, it doesn't happen. Like, that's sick. Like, whatever. That was frustrating.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we made it.
We did. Oh, man, 3 hours, by the way. I got
Almost
this recorded. 4. Almost 4, yep.
I didn't expect it, but it was an entertaining time.
It was fun. I had a good time.
It was fun. I had a good time. Deaton had to leave. For anyone who's listening, he left after Miles. We talked about Miles, of course.
Yeah, he did.
So of course, after Miles, he's like, I don't even want to be
here.
here.
He didn't, once he got there, he was like, I'm done. I'm out. Who cares about these other scrubby ass characters? Like, no one gives a damn about whatever. It's all about Miles. I really, you know what? Now saying that, what if we started the tier 3 threat with Miles, and then that's all Deaton did, and then we had to do the rest of the 3 hours? That would have been such a Chad move.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right, we
made it.
Long cast. This is our tier list. Thank you for listening. We will do tier lists for 4 threats next. So stay tuned. See you later.